I hope you all have already shared that. And if you have not, we'll kindly request you to please do that. So you can use our official handles. And we can be found at ITV News with a Z at the end on Twitter and Facebook, and IndianTelevision.com on Instagram and LinkedIn. Now that the lunch is over and we all are filled with a lot of energy and we have rejuvenated ourselves, we'll start with our next session, the next panel, which is on stopping the leakages in the pay TV ecosystem. So the pay TV industry has undergone significant transformations in recent years with the rise of streaming services and changing consumer preferences. While the industry continues to adapt, one critical issue remains, and that's leakages in the pay TV ecosystem. Leakages refer to unauthorized access to pay TV content, including piracy, password sharing, and other forms of revenue loss. Stopping the leakages in the pay TV ecosystem is crucial for the industry's sustainability and continued growth. By implementing a combination of content protection measures, strict password management, legal enforcement, consumer education, and innovative pricing models, pay TV providers can mitigate the impact of piracy, unauthorized access, and revenue loss. And to discuss on this in an elaborated way, we have a lot of esteemed speakers in between us right now. So may I have the honor of firstly inviting on stage Mr. N.K. Roos, COO, Next Digital. May I please request everyone to give him a thunderous round of applause while he comes on stage and joins us. Mr. N.K. Roos. Welcome, sir. We have Mr. Nagesh Chhabria, promoter, Metrocast Network India. May I have the pleasure of inviting you as well on stage, Mr. Chhabria. Please put your hands together for our next esteemed panelist, Mr. Atul Saraf, Chairman and Managing Director, Sabut One Private Limited. Please welcome Mr. Atul. We have Mr. Saurja Mohanty. In the meantime, Atul joins us. Chief Operating Officer, Epic On and StreamSense. May I have the honor of inviting Mr. Saurja Mohanty on stage, please? Okay. So Mr. Atul is there. We have Mr. Padma Kumar N, Chief Operating Officer, KCCL KVBL. Please welcome Mr. N. And of course, how could I forget to invite our session chair, Mr. Karan Taurani, Senior Vice President, Elara Capital. Please welcome Mr. Taurani. Mr. Saurja is joining us, right? Yeah, he's there. May I request all of you to kindly put your hands together for all our esteemed speakers. And now the stage is all yours, Mr. Taurani.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back after a great lunch break. So our session today is going to talk about TV industry, the issue of piracy, and the issue of leakages. Right? I mean, the industry already is struggling, as we see the numbers, show it all. Our pay TV households are declining by close to 4% over the last 3-4 years. We are somewhere close to about 110 million pay TV households roughly. And the reason for this is very clear. A shift towards digital is real and is here to stay. And on top of this, we've got other concerns as well, right? I mean, cord-cutting trends in urban, we've got, the connected TV issue, which is there, wherein, you're going to see a shift, from the consumer from linear to connected TV. And with, bandwidth becoming more and more cheaper, wire broadband penetration will increase further. We've got innovation like, Geo Air Fiber. And to top it all, we have this another concern on, the piracy part, which is there, which is leakage of pay TV revenue. So I think we've got a wide variety of panelists today, right across, from platforms to, the MSOs and the LCOs. So we're going to discuss this at length, but the industry seems to be alarming, but we hope that, there is some kind of innovation being played over here, some kind of data wherein we can track, piracy and, kind of block it. So let me first bring in Roos here in the conversation, just start off with you. Broadly, what's your, hi. So what's your assessment of this entire issue of piracy? I mean, what is the kind of loss the industry is looking at today in terms of the total distribution pie? And any new initiatives, say in the last 1 year, year and a half, which have been kind of implemented to arrest this loss? Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Karan, I think after lunch, it seems the mood is a bit sleepy, it looks like. First of all, you have given a shock here, 4% going down year on year. Somewhere we need to stop this churn, right? Piracy, Karan, as we were discussing in the first half, I mean, it's come down. Piracy has come down, and in the linear side of it, I don't see much of a piracy as a problem right now. After the digitization and after NTOs, I think that piracy part has come down, and we also in the technology front, we have good regulations in place as well as good technology is there. The conditional access system is world class, DRM is world class, and also we keep auditing, the broadcasters also keeps coming in and auditing our systems. So piracy is not much of a concern, though as per industries, I mean, what we hear is still piracy in the film or in pay TV industry, still it's something around 20,000 crores. It's still told about. But in the pay TV front, I don't see much as a challenge right now with the sort of regulations we have in place for the cable TV sector. Definitely, there is a concern which is on the digital and the lot of illegal apps, streaming apps are there where a lot of piracy is being reported. Other than that, I don't see piracy as a challenge in the for the linear part of it. And with, as I said, with very strong regulations and where the broadcasters also can come and audit, and we have the regulator has empaneled auditors for us, and every year we have audit going on. So I don't see piracy as much of a challenge on the linear side of it. As I said, yes, the digital part of it still remains a challenge.
Yes, right. I think we have moved away from a browser-based economy to an app-based economy, and I think that is also somewhere kind of leading to piracy coming down, because we are consuming more of apps right now rather than going to websites and search for content. And in apps already there is a monetization model which is either through pay, which is ad-free, or which is through advertising. So I think that's also one of the reasons in terms of why potential piracy would have come down. But Nageshji, I would like to get your perspective here. So broadly, I mean, this is clear that piracy is not a big dent for the industry as such. But what's your perspective in terms of any innovation or any data tracking that you would have done amongst your subscribers to actually see that piracy is there or not?
Good afternoon, everyone. So I think piracy, one is through our net, where we find a lot of sites or app where we get all 4 or 5 broadcasters and important channels are seen through that. And on linear base, on our cable TV, piracy is still there, mostly in rural areas. So rural area, if you see, in every state, any state you take, Karnataka, Maharashtra, or small states, wherever you go, there are around 10 to 12 head-ends or small MSOs who are running with 2,000 or 1,500 base. So when a businessman sees that, how do they survive? How does a person survive with such a small base for last 7 years, 8 years? It is only through piracy. So whenever a smaller place or a village type of area, his requirement of channels are less. So he can put a small head-end, he can get taking Sun TV or Tata Sky, whatever he wants to take. He will put a legal, say 100 or 200 connections, but other things will get pirated. And this still is there. Wherever the distance is far from the main headquarters or from district headquarters, this is rampant, it goes on. And I think there are rules, as Ru said, whatever regulations are there, broadcasters are doing the audit, that all is there. But when the numbers are so small, but numbers when we take it all India, it should be around 3 to 4%. For rural market, where the piracy still exists, and through net whatever is going, because when I travel out of India or somewhere, if I tell my daughter or son, I want to see Star Plus, wait that 2 minutes, he'll remove one side, all 4 are there in. Star Plus is there, Colors is there, whichever channel you want, it comes free of cost. How to prevent that now? Cyber has to do or these other people have to do. But for linear TV, the piracy, I think broadcasters have to be more stricter, go to the end point and see that it is covered. Because otherwise, the model is not there for survival for smaller MSOs.
Right. So Padma Kumar ji, specifically talking about Kerala and the South market also in general, that is one market maybe which is not completely digitized as well, right? I mean, there are certain pockets. Firstly, if you can elaborate and say that where are the leakages there? I mean, where are we still on the old system, and what are the kind of broader number of households that will be digitized, and probably you'll see this leakage getting arrested, right? Because there would be piracy over there wherever the digital cable system is not there. And secondly, what is the situation in that market? Because that market is highly fragmented. Multiple LCOs are there over there. In fact, South is one of the most fragmented as compared to North as well. So what's your assessment of this market as compared to North? Yeah.
Hello. Thank you very much. Especially our thanks to India Television for inviting Kerala Vision Broadband as a panel member of this program. Actually, before answering his questions, I have to explain what KCCL is. Actually, KCCL is a company. We have one subsidiary company named KVBL. It is an operator company. This company is promoted by cable operators of Kerala, and this company is managed by cable operators of Kerala. So it has a unique business model. So we are distributing the channels through distributors, sub-distributors, and operators. Around 7,000 operators are there in Kerala. And out of this, around 3,000 operators are the shareholders of this company. So every decision or every strategy developed by this company will have some field pulses. That is, it is based on the real customer preference and the customer choice. That is the main advantage of this company. While in India, for the last 4 years, there is very much churn in cable TV subscribers. That is from 110 million cable TV connections, now it reduced to 65 million. Maybe some changes in the statistics. But during this time, Kerala Vision has achieved a tremendous improvement in connection base in digital cable TV. It is mainly because of our strategy in pricing and giving channel bouquet as per the taste of the customers. Moreover, we are giving a reasonable share to our operators. So they will be happy. So they will work hard to retain the customer base. Then there is no scope for piracy because people will be happy with the content, distributor will be happy with the content, and we have a good relation with the broadcasters also. So there is no issue with the broadcasters. Maybe some negotiation, maybe some problems will be there, but it will be settled soon. And because our policy is, we have to protect the interest of all stakeholders in the ecosystem. Then only we can develop. So moreover, we have started our broadband business 5 or 6 years back. Within a short span of time, we have reached 8th highest FTTH broadband provider in India. That also operating only in Kerala. So the ISPs who are operating pan-India, they are competing with us, but by operating in Kerala alone, our operators have achieved tremendous improvement in connection base. That is, we are now more than 1 million connection we achieved in broadband. That is, 50% of our digital base have been converted into broadband. Through this, what we have done is, one side, we have retained our cable base. Not retained, we improved our cable base by providing good packages and good pricing. And on the other side, by promoting broadband, we helped our operators to provide OTT and other broadband-based services to our customers and get revenue out of that. KCCL, I think we have 4 years back, our revenue was 200 crores. Our company, both KCCL and KBBL, now it is 700 crore. You imagine the increase in the revenue while the industry is speaking about revenue loss and connection loss. It is mainly because of our company structure that it is a model which no one can emulate because it is operators company, operators management. So as per your question, answer to your question, in protecting the content, actually we have done all the steps because we have a good advanced embedded CAS system, we have a good SMS system, and all technique. We have this firewall to protect malwares. So there is no chance of piracy, and we are giving a correct report to the broadcasters, and there is no suppressing data. So in any way, I think as far as Kerala Vision is concerned, we are doing a good business. And another good news is that we are going to start our own OTT platform within 2 months. And that is maybe competing with Anil. We are starting our own aggregator platform to protect our operators and to sustain in the technological development of this thing. Okay.
Right, and you want to speak about the household penetration levels in South?
Yeah, that in Kerala, actually our total cable TV homes will be maybe 70 lakhs or something, and out of this, around 35 lakhs is covered by, that is dominated by Kerala Vision. We have, I think, more than 50% of market share in cable TV, and we have more than 50% market share in broadband also. So maybe some competitor operators also joining with the Kerala Vision due to the attraction of our customer and operator friendly policies.
Right, right. So, Atulji, I'd like to get your perspective also on this entire piracy issue and what your company has been doing to actually curb this. And I mean, frankly, what we're getting as a viewpoint is that there is not much of an impact. And so do you differ on that view?
No, I don't differ on piracy. Piracy is happening, everybody knows about it, and it's happening from last 3 decades in cable, and now digital, it's happening
But what they're trying to mention is that the impact of piracy is more for the movie industry than for the cable industry. Do you align with that view, or you have a different view on that?
Yeah, see, as a OTT aggregator, Sabot, we are not allowing anybody to download our app if he is not able to put his telephone number. We are going B2B, we are not doing B2C. So there is one thing that our OTT partners are very secure that the piracy will not happen from our department. After that, the video also plays into the third-party app. So there is no question of getting any piracy through our app. So the protection through our app is totally done. But then too, I feel that piracy still happens in India through internet. And we have seen even Netflix today night he will put a new program. After 1 hour it is available in torrent. So because of the maybe pricing of the Netflix, the people start pirating, and we know the Indian piracy rate is also about 60%. For all the verticals, whether it is cable or DTH or whether it is digital medium.
Right. Sorry, so since you are a content owner, platform, right, in terms of making content, what is your broader assessment on piracy? I mean, obviously you do make content for both TV, digital, and the content obviously is expensive, right? So do you all also feel or rather foresee that there is a negative impact on piracy, both on linear TV and digital, if you can tell me separately? And secondly, how does one monetize content on digital in a very big manner at a large scale? So TV, we all know we have a large pay TV household, we have ARPUs over there. On digital, it's very, very fragmented. We've got platforms like YouTube, we've got multiple content platforms, different variety of content. So what is the difficulty that you face for monetizing content on digital?
Yeah, that's a very pertinent question, Karan, on that. So, first of all, we acknowledge the fact that piracy is a big menace, not only in India, but globally also. I think in APAC region itself, India leads the chart in terms of the piracy that happens. Close to around $1.5 billion is the piracy, and India leads with 700 million only. And then next is Macau, which is next to China. I think the country which has really taken it on a war footing is Singapore, is because a lot of white papers come around, every quarter, which country is doing what kind of initiative in terms of stopping piracy. So coming back to our brand and the content that we make, yes, it is a problem right now where you make a content and then next day it is out there in the internet. So I think we have a threefold approach that we have adopted, and we have seen that there has been a chunkable difference in terms of stopping the piracy. The first thing is obviously taking initiatives around DRM, which sort of locks up the screen recording and other initiatives that the pirates usually do. That's the first thing. Then watermarking along with that, which sort of goes along with every content video that goes out or somebody wants to pirate or copy it. I think the second fold differentiation that we have done is that we have taken initiatives around our video URLs, which is very minimal but yet very effective, where we mask the whole video URL, and then anybody who wants to download or tries to do anything, it's very difficult to do. And the third part is that we have taken initiatives in terms of deploying agencies who also do a lot of air check and then start knocking down the content which is an unauthorized platform or anywhere in that matter across the world. So just to give you a sizable example, we had a video cam scam which we launched last month. So that is the most watched content, close to around 250 million streams we saw in terms of growth, and we have found out around 40,000 platforms carrying the pirated videos all the seasons. I mean all the episodes of the season. So we could knock down only 85% of that. So yes, it's on a very large scale that happens. Of course, it can't be plugged from day one 100%, but yes, it has to be a continuous effort to do. Second thing, coming back to the, and it also goes for the TV content as well, because when it is available in digital, and we are a broadcaster OTT, so the TV content every day, 4 hours of content also goes into the digital platform. So that also goes to say the volume of content that we churn out every month with the originals alone. So I think the problem remains same for the TV and digital both. I think from the monetization point of view, yes, digital has its own challenges in terms of monetization, but I think a good distribution platform can elevate the situation. It can, add on to the monetization and amortization process, where if the B2B distribution is strong, I have completed 8 years in terms of digital distribution, and I've seen that, while these consolidations in the market are happening, but I think every digital platform should put their head down and then start working on B2B integrations, because that's where the real secret sauce lies. Just to give you a reference figure, 85% of business comes from B2B business. No matter what is the size of the business, 15 to 20% is only from B2C, because B2C, you don't know what's a CAC today and what's a CAC tomorrow. So cost of acquisition keeps on fluctuating every time. So B2B gives you that cushion in terms of doing fixed fee deal, MG deals, where they also proliferate across multiple regions, distribute the content across multiple geographies, and then that's where they put their relevance across. So I think a good B2B distribution. Plus, second, I think the most important part is what does the platform stand for? I think every platform has their own USP. So, for example, many platforms have a signature content style which is only into infotainment. Some platforms are only known for action, thriller, and murder. So I think defining a content strategy is very important, because at the end of the day, the content that you are pumping out into the digital platform is going to spell out that what is your content thesis. And the third thing is that watch time. How do you respect the watch time of a user? If the user is coming to do a binge watch, whether it is 150 minutes, 200 minutes, whatever it is, are you relevant enough to take that watch time from the user and give the best of the content? So I think we should judiciously use the viewer's watch time and create content which has got long-lasting effect. It has got a good lifetime value as well. So I think making content with the right strategy, with the proper size of the content, which is basically watch time, or in terms of the length of the content, how relevant it is. I think those are the 2-3 things which are very important. So once these 2-3 things are sort of nailed, then I think every digital platform can spell their success. So this is from my take around monetization.
Right, that's a great insight. Also, in terms of, between the platform and the distributors, like, Nagesh and Rush, you can add insights here. How do you all plan to come together in the industry to really protect interest of each other, right? Is there a plan to invest in some sort of a digital mechanism? I think he mentioned about some ways in terms of the way you can block content, right? So on the linear TV side, are we so technologically advanced that we can actually do something of this sort? That's one. And secondly, I mean, there are not enough penalties, right, for something like this. We don't have a proper mechanism in terms of the customer is kind of warned that you'll be penalized or you'll be getting a hefty penalty, like how it is in other emerging nations or like Singapore, right, where the things are very strict. So what's your sense on these two things?
As I said, on the linear front, what we do is end-to-end is all encrypted. So we hardly have any chances of piracy when it comes to linear. As he said, the piracy is a concern when it comes to on the digital front. Yes, there is a internet and through apps and through streaming, there is a lot of illegal sites available which are not from the country, which are based outside. So that challenge is there. Piracy is a big menace actually outside. But when it comes to linear part of it, I'm again saying there's not much of a concern. Yes, as Nagesh said, in the rural side of it, there could be some operators through local insertions, they might be doing it. But it's not a matter of matter of concern when it comes to linear part of it. Yes, we have end-to-end encrypted technologies available. The CAS and as I said, the DRMs are very safe, and also we have geofencing and geo blocks are there already in place. So like one set-top box paired to one of the head end cannot be taken to another place and you cannot run it. So we have this geofencing and blocking also available. So it's end-to-end completely. We have taken care when it comes to piracy.
And do you foresee a change in terms of the penalties behind this, so that the customer or the person is kind of refraining or scared to do this kind of a thing? You feel anything is coming in place over there?
Actually, because we are yet to educate the subscribers. Actually, there's less of education to the subscriber on the piracy front, which we need to do. A lot of effort has to go for from the regulator, from the government, to educate subscribers not to watch pirated content. Does subscribers also do come to know from where you get pirated content, but a lot of education and some sort of a consortium or all the stakeholders need to come together and work upon it. So I think that are the ways to curb piracy.
But only the education may not help, right? You need to have a very strong system for some penalties in place. Is that
difficult one in a country like us? It will be very difficult to penalize the subscriber. It will be a tough one. Right. And with elections around the corner, do you think, Karan, anything will happen?
Right, and sorry, also on the platform part. So, as a content creator, as a TV channel, or as a catch-up TV proposition, okay, you obviously think that digital is much better as a proposition in terms of monitoring piracy, because you are giving your content to certain platforms, and then you can actually have a control on the customers or control on the content which is being put out over there, whether even YouTube for that matter, UGC is blocked, right, if it is pirated or if it is not suitable. So you believe digital, from a futuristic standpoint, this is a better proposition that you can actually control content?
I think yes and no, both, because it comes with the boon and bane. The boon part is, of course, the distribution is rock solid in terms of the way it compounds. Geometric progression happens. If you have a content and it is distributed logically across B2B platforms, there's a geometric progression, which I said. At the same point in time, when something is growing or distributed magnificently, there is also a problem of piracy. At the same rate, it is directly proportional, and the piracy also happens that way, because if you are from 10 platforms to 10,000 platforms, by the time already 2,000 or 3,000 platforms would have already picked it up as a pirated version of that. But yes, as I said, the challenge is still there in digital across. But the good thing is also there that we also get to know on a real-time basis which are the authorized platforms where we are streaming and which are the unauthorized platforms. That gives us the basic input as to what needs to be knocked down and what needs to be sort of whitelisted. Yes, so the technologies are in place which we implement, and that has sort of kept the piracy at bay to a large extent. But yes, distribution grows in geometric progression and piracy also grows that way. Yes, I mean, you need to invest in the tools to ensure that, you're trying to control or arrest the overall piracy over a period of time. And show to show or everyday basis, we see this happening. So it's a continuous affair that keeps on continuing.
So broadly, what we assess here is that, piracy is not as big an impact for the linear TV side as it is for digital, because the content is more premium on the digital side. So that's why people, resort to piracy. It has been coming down. Customers have been, educated for it, but there is no way in terms of penalizing the customer for doing piracy. So those norms are still a long way to go. But just broadly, I would like to get a sense from each one of you all on the industry outlook, right? I mean, whatever shift we are seeing in terms of digital, how do basically, companies like, the MSO, LCO, how do you all basically safeguard interest in terms of your company? Is it like, offering bundle broadband is what you mentioned for raising ARPUs, or any other kind of a strategy to actually be relevant or to actually grow at this point of time where there is so much happening in digital, so many platforms, so much growth, so much of ad dollars flowing. We saw that, once Jio Cinema offered IPL free, the kind of revenue the platform generated. So how are you going to protect your interests here, and what's the future in the next 3 years? From each one of you, if I can get some kind of perspective. Yeah.
From in our company, we have launched our own, as I said last time in the PBS, that we have done an aggregation. So we are like aggregating the aggregators. That sort of an app we have already done. It's Next Play. We have also partnered with Hindustan's OTT Play. Also we have launched our own broadband, and we are doing well in that front. So we plan to retain our subscribers through a combo sort of a product. So we have devised a good product, and we want to take it forward strongly on the broadband front. So that's how we plan to take it forward. One question is on the piracy of digital. I just wanted to check. When we say that there are a lot of sites which are streaming, illegal apps and illegal content, from your perspective, is it the content owners? Like Netflix, I don't hear so much of piracy happening on Netflix, whereas we see a lot of other, content getting pirated. Even I've seen Hotstar, I've seen Sony Live, okay, but I don't see much of piracy happening on Netflix. Is the technology-wise, are we somewhere lagging behind Netflix, or what exactly is the reason?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come to the point. So you can all Google a site called as F Movies. So F Movies keeps on changing its domain site from fmovies.cab, fmovies.000, fmovies.taxi. Okay, so example I'm giving. Last 12 years it has been operating. It has got all the premium shows of Hotstar and Netflix. Yeah, so nobody for last 12 years have been able to drive that site out because it keeps on changing the domain. So what I'm trying to say is that the evolution of the content, the evolution of the digital platforms that are happening, so also the hackers and the concerned people in the piracy are also evolving with the technology. So there is a dual economy which is operating right now, and yes, it has got billions of dollars of leakage. The idea is that it is like a catch me if you can. It keeps on going, and if one site is doing, then other sites will also start doing it, and which is happening right now. Yes, I mean we have to accept that and keep on working on it, and then doing a air check and then removing it. But we can do that to some extent. But as somebody in the panel said, that the pricing is the most deciding factor why people pirate, and premium content versus normal content. The whole idea is that pricing is again a very sticky item, because if you reduce it, your ARPUs and your revenues drop. Should you increase it, obviously volume drops. But I think rather than addressing the pricing part, the most important part is that how do we stop it, and what are the initiatives we should do in terms of stopping it. I think we should emulate a lot of these countries who have already done it, or technology companies who are doing it, if not 100%, but at least some kind of change over quarter.
So that is why I was saying that who will take these kind of initiatives? I mean, from the platform side, from the content owner side, or from the distribution side, we need to take some initiatives to actually invest in these kind of technologies, wherein piracy is not just possible by anybody over there. So yeah, that is the future maybe. So yeah, Arun Kumarji, Nageshji, and Padma, I'm just like, he mentioned the point of bundling, very important, which is bundling of apps which he's doing. So anything that you're doing in terms of potential innovation?
So I have to your question, which you had earlier asked, which Bruce had answered. I wanted to just add on it. So all are trying, all MSOs, mid-size, big size, they want to do a combo offer. They want to give linear TV, they want to give internet, they want to give OTT all in one. But again, when we go to sell the content, say if someone wants to sell it like Airtel is doing or Jio is doing, The price which was 1400 last year, it has come to 1000, it has come to 900. One of my friend, he started a new gimmick. He said unlimited television in any house, bigger house. He can show 4 TVs, any number of connections in a house. He can have unlimited bandwidth. He can have unlimited OTT, whatever he wants. And he came with a rate of 1000 rupees. So if in Bombay someone is having a big flat, he has 6-7 TVs. He might give 500 or 600 per television to Tata Sky or Airtel. But if he's going to a normal mid-size MSO, then he gets it for as good as 150 rupees. And that too all HD content and with unlimited internet and OTT also. So, but our challenge is selling it. Like a MSO was never that good in marketing because his expertise was he was sitting in a home giving service. Going and getting that from the customer is still a challenge. But this is the only way where getting a combo, getting a proper combination of content, OTT and internet and sell it. That's the only way the MSOs can survive. And also one more question, what is going towards, like you said, all MSOs are coming together, are the smaller MSOs are coming together and forming a single portion. I think the future what we see, we might see 2 or 3 players only in next 2 or 3 years.
Yes, and
so
that will drive success for the ecosystem because currently if there are so many players.
I think the nature will make us do even if we don't want to do. All are moving towards that.
Because the other part is consolidated. So if you look at DTH, it is already consolidated. It is the MSO and the LCO which is very, very fragmented. So if you all come together, I think there's a way to arrest the subscriber decline because you're going to become larger than
future looks that way.
Karan, you said about the piracy. I think so the government came with last year Piracy Act where in July somewhere where the imprisonment will be there for 3 months and 5% of the amount has to be paid for the production cost of the content, which has been done piracy. But then too, I feel the piracy will happen. If you take the biggest economy of the world, which is US, they have 9 million people who are doing piracy, about $30 billion worth of amount it is. So it's a huge piracy. In Russia, 90% people are doing piracy. China, 90% videos are seen on piracy. So piracy cannot be stopped, but maybe it can be done through the content provider where he can make it available of the content in such a way that the piracy doesn't happen. And like we have a cyber cell, maybe a piracy cell can be created. So a person caught will be punished on the spot. I don't think in India anybody got sentenced on the piracy.
Exactly, there are not enough
Not
laws.
a single person has been sentenced. So the FIR has been filed, but nothing happens about it. So the piracy will continue.
Right. So basically bundling, packaging, coming together, consolidation, price sensitive, making it more affordable for the customer. What's your take on this here?
Okay. But before that, regarding piracy, one point I have to mention here. For curbing this piracy, I think some coordination between ISP and this content provider, streaming platforms is urgently needed. Because on ISP can help streaming platforms in case of this data security, especially IP related things. Because now, if we can monitor the IP movement properly, we can see where the this content unauthorized access is happening. We can easily detect. Because with the help of an ISP, we can easily monitor the IP thing. That one point regarding the piracy. But regarding the bundling, our Kerala Vision objective and strategy is to become a multi-service provider. That is our strategy. Because our customer should not go for any other provider for any service. That may be e-commerce, that may be e-health, whatever may be, e-education. Every service should be provided by our company. That is our objective because customer is the king. Customer is the asset of any ISP or MSO. So we have to monetize our customer base effectively with the support of all stakeholders. That may be OTT platforms, broadcasters, or any other providers. we work as a team and monetize the customer very effectively. That is my opinion about this bundling thing. Okay, thank you.
Great. So I think bundling is the way ahead, indeed, and consolidation, which will be a benefit, to the platforms or the distributors to scale up, and a benefit for the customer because they can get that content at a better price. Thank you so much.
Switch on the mic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you, for having the wonderful chit-chat and session. I was so engrossed once again in the discussion. It was very interactive. May I please request Karan to kindly felicitate all our speakers for the day, starting with Mr. N.K. Roos. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for all our esteemed speakers for the day. They have shared their knowledge, their expertise, and we have filtered our learning process with that. Thank you so much, Mr. Roos, for being here. Now we'll move on to felicitate Mr. Nagesh Chaburia, who is the promoter, Metrocast Network India. We are really glad to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. After this, we'll move on to felicitate Mr. Atul Saraf, Chairman and Managing Director, Sabut One Private Limited. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in and sharing wonderful insights with us. It was really thoughtful for all of us to listen to you and gaining so many things from you. Thank you once again. Now to Mr. Saurya Mohanty, Chief Operating Officer, Epic On and StreamSense. Thank you so much, Saurya, for being with us today at the event. May I request all of you to kindly give them a huge round of applause, and applause should continue till the time our speakers are there. Now we'll continue with the felicitation process of Mr. Padma Kumar N, Chief Operating Officer, KCCL and KVBL. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And now would like to take the honor to felicitate Mr. Karan Taurani, who's the session chair, of course, with us. We request all of you to kindly be on the stage, stay back for a photo op, which obviously is our ritual. So yes. You can take your certificates in your hands if you want to. Thank you for being so kind and so warm in the interaction and taking that wonderful session. Once again, a huge round of applause for all of you. And after this, would request all of you to kindly share the perspective about the session and about the day, about the event in the speakers lounge to our team. And now, we'll quickly move on to the next session. I hope all of you are having some questions, some doubts in your head, and all of you can take your questions offline. In the meantime, the chairs are getting away from the stage because we are now having a presentation by our gorgeous lady, AVP Brand Solutions, Viacom 18 Sports, Simran Channi. I have one thing to discuss that I have just learned in the recent times as I was actually taking my acting workshop. So I was being taught not to ask questions, since I am a person who always asks a lot of questions. A lot of things goes in my head, being into the entertainment journalism and all that. But then I learned it and I just applied it in my life that not to ask questions is sometimes so good that you feel that you have to find ways and find out your own solutions and find out your own techniques. So that's the best part, I believe. But yes, you can always ask questions if you have some, but on offline. Now, there is a spotlight session by Ms. Simran Channi, AVP Brand Solutions, Viacom 18 Sports. I would like to welcome the gorgeous lady on stage to talk about India's digital revolution with JioCinema. Please welcome Ms. Simran Channi. May I request Ms. Simran to kindly join us on stage? Oh, hi. How are you? Absolutely. The stage is all yours.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. Without having ever met me, you said that I'm gorgeous, so that feels great. But anyway, hi everybody. My name is Simran Channi Kaglani, and I'm very excited to be here today. What I want to talk to you about today is obviously my favorite topic, and the favorite topic of nearly everybody in India. You really have to be hiding under a rock for the last 15 years to, not know what, we want to talk about. It's that time of the year again. IPL is just about 5 weeks away. So just want to take some of your time, to talk to you a little bit about what JioCinema's journey has been, on the IPL, what it looked like for us last year, and what do we have in store for you, not just as a consumer of the tournament, but also as, advertisers, brand planners, brand custodians in terms of how can you really leverage our platform and the scale of IPL to drive super high results for your brand. So without further ado, I'm just going to start, dive in. And like she said, at any point in time, if you have questions, do note them down. I'm happy to, shed some more light, outside. I'm going to be here for some time. So first up, right, I think this statement actually, holds very true for all of us at JioCinema, and that's the reason why we've actually put that up as our first slide. And a lot of us in the room will also sort of relate with this statement. I'm sure all of us have memories of, moving from our first Nokia phones to a BlackBerry device, and then suddenly moving from our BlackBerry device to, iPhones or an Android, a super high-end Android phone, right? And that's the beauty of technology, that it comes in and changes your life overnight. And something similar really happened for us as an organization as well, sometime in late 2022. Before 2022, actually, JioCinema didn't really have an identity as a sports platform. We acquired the rights to FIFA, and FIFA then became the first big sort of tournament that we were streaming live. I'm sure a lot of you saw it on the platform. And immediately on the heels of FIFA, we had IPL 2023. And since then, our team has gone ahead and acquired a lot of other, sports content. I'm going to touch upon very little bit on that. So as far as we are concerned, I think this statement holds very true, because within a span of about 18 months, we've now become the largest sports OTT platform in the country, and actually the largest sports platform, not just OTT, but the largest sports platform in the country. And while that was a statement from our point of view, even in our own lives, I think we're seeing how rapidly things are changing with respect to digital connectivity and our use of digital products, right? I think we can't imagine our lives without this. And if we were all sitting about 9 years ago in 2015 and having this conversation and saying that we possibly could walk out of our house today with just our phone without having access to our card or whatever, and still, nothing would happen, we would not believe it. But things like UPI, things like Universal ID, mobile penetration in the country, thanks to Jio Telecom really taking it deep, has changed all of our lives. So this leads us to believe that actually a very big revolution is happening in the content consumption landscape as well. And when we speak about the revolution, I think the property that's going to be spearheading this is going to be the IPL, which brings us to what our ambition for IPL 2024 is. So on IPL 2024, we are actually looking at an estimated platform reach of about 650 million users across our platforms. And you'll hear me say across our platforms a few times today. What I mean by across platforms is that users who access the IPL either on the handheld device or on the iPad or web, laptop, or on the connected TV screens. And we'll speak a little bit more about connected TV, in this session, because for us, that's been one big growth story that's emerged out of IPL 2023. So while this is our number that, we're looking at going into the season, this was a story for us last year, right? So especially when you look at 650 million against the 450 odd million base of last year, the ambition actually suddenly does not seem so steep, right? And interestingly, actually, the 449 million reach on the platform that we had last year was a huge jump from what IPL on digital had been the previous years. And a big reason for that jump, of course, was the strategic shift that we took. We decided to make IPL streaming free across platforms for all users anywhere in the country, right? So you could be sitting out of anywhere, watching on your phone or on your connected TV. IPL was free for you. And in a country where I think cricket is not just an obsession, but actually a religion. I consider myself to be a very religious person thanks to my love for cricket. You know, in a country like that, making a tournament like IPL where there's just so much positive sentiment attached, this is the result of, you know, doing something like that, right? So one is that we made IPL streaming free for everybody. The second big punt you can say that we took was that we actually streamed IPL live in 12 different languages. India is a unique country, you know. I think about 22 official languages are spoken in the country. And we had 12 of them represented on our platform. Some of you may actually remember our Punjabi feed and our Bhojpuri feed, which had Ravi Kisan, for example. They really went viral, right? Like people were listening to those feeds and, you know, taking clips and sharing memes, etc. So, you know, the feeds actually became a bigger cultural moment for us. And also what was interesting for us was that, you know, this audience was actually previously completely underserved, right? Like, you would know कि हाँ cricket सब समझते हैं, but no one could consume cricket in a Odia language before we actually started the Odia feed, or you know, in Punjabi or in Bhojpuri. In fact, this year we will be having Haryanvi as a language that we're adding to our, you know, selection of languages. So all of this put together, of course, helped us add to the scale of 450 million users on IPL last year. And while this was a story at a larger level, you know, how can we pivot from the content point of view? How can we, you know, deploy a pivot on pricing? To what can we do to, you know, also engage with probably the more tech-savvy consumers in the country? I think India now has a very, very fast-growing population of tech early adopters, what we like to call. These are users actually who use a lot of technology-rich features on the platform. So in the past, if you watch cricket, and if you were a cricket fanatic like most of us, you would probably be watching on your phone, and then, you know, you'd keep getting out and, you know, watching the statistics on maybe a CricBuzz, for example, right? What we did was that we brought in the interface of something like that within the app. So you actually had no reason to leave the app anymore. You could actually consume a lot of statistics, analysis, etc. while you were in the app ecosystem. We had multi-camera feeds as an option for viewers. What this means is, especially the stump cam, which is my favorite example, and I would keep shifting the stump cam very often, especially in CSK matches, is in the hope to be able to hear Dhoni give some, you know, instruction to the bowler at the other side, right? Like all of us also, you know, as lovers of the game want to watch that, and a lot of times the stump cam would somehow, you know, catch that audio as well. So, you know, really sort of thinking through about the romance of the game and bringing that into a technological feature is something that we did. And all of these innovations actually were used by about 100 million, you know, users. And one would think that, you know, a feature like this would probably be for a very niche audience, but 100 million is not niche by any standard, right? So very big adoption of technology. We had our own game called Jeeto Dhan Dhanada, and for users who were watching the game on the phone, they could play an interactive game on the app. We were giving away a car every day as a grand prize. You know, and people from all over the country, right from Assam to Kerala, you know, won a car every single day. We had over 50 million people participating in this game, making this the largest ever live sporting game in the world. There actually isn't another example of this kind anywhere else in the world. And all of this put together, you know, the game, the technological features, you know, the multiple languages, all of that put together actually resulted in users spending more time while consuming the match. In the past, you know, average time spent watching a match would be somewhere about, you know, 45, 46 minutes. But a combination of all of these things, plus, of course, keeping it free, made sure that users are actually now spending more time consuming IPL on the platform. And obviously, a number like 70 minutes tells you that nobody is really now watching this on digital as an on-the-go thing. You know, I mean, who is traveling for 70 minutes to really just, you know, consume it on your on-the-go device? This gives us the confidence to say that digital platforms like JioCinema are now becoming the primary platform for people to consume a premium tournament like IPL. And while this was all, you know, on the handheld device, the big story that emerged for us, like I mentioned earlier as well, was, you know, the growth that we saw in the connected TV ecosystem. I think most of us in the room here will probably have a connected TV device at home. You know, we probably consume more content on OTT and aren't really, you know, using our set-top boxes, or most of us, actually, I have shut off my set-top box connection since a lot of years now. So we actually saw a very big explosion of connected TV adoption happen during IPL. One big reason here for us was that we introduced something called, you can see it on my first, screenshot, we introduced something called the Asli 4K feed, which essentially was streaming the match in 4K resolution the whole time. And this was, again, a global first. There has been no other tournament in the world which has actually been streamed in 4K resolution. We actually had to make a lot of investments in our technology to ensure that we can have this kind of an output. And I think the thing that happened from a consumer standpoint is that the experience of watching the match in that sort of a beautiful, resolution was just so engaging that even this led to, a lot of time spent. So in fact, on connected TV, our average time spent was about 85 minutes per match, which is actually higher than HD TV numbers as well. So all of this put together, our deep distribution, 4K, Asli 4K feed, etc., led to, like I mentioned, an explosion on CTV numbers. Just want to give you highlights of the numbers. So IPL 2023 reach on connected TV was 29 million devices. That actually equals about 126 million users that consumed IPL on connected TV devices. So while this was a story thus far, how do we top this, right? How do we get to the 650 million number, and what can we do to actually make the viewing experience a little bit better? So I'll touch upon that a little bit. For us, our ambition this time is how do we make Indian Premier League on JioCinema a league for every single Indian. So to that regard, we have a few things planned in terms of reach maximization, and then a few things planned in terms of how do we improve the viewing experience itself. So on reach maximization, there are a few things that we are doing. The first one being, all of us know, mobile internet connectivity. The numbers are, meant to reach about 900 million in the coming year. We've got a significant play here now with the JioBharat phone, which is a 4G-enabled feature phone that was introduced around Diwali last year. It's a 999 rupee device. In fact, the India-England series is currently streaming live on that phone. And, one would think that how do you have a live cricket stream happening on a smaller phone with a smaller device? But we are actually seeing some really, really good initial adoption numbers on this. We are also converting our app UI into multiple languages. So this is basically taking our whole insight into serving people for IPL in different languages to the next level. So far, if you go to JioCinema, the app is in English. But there are so many people in India who actually don't read English, right? They probably read Hindi, or they probably read some other mother tongue. So our effort is to actually make the app interface also multilingual so that we don't alienate these users as well. And how do we use our strength of the Jio Air Fiber connectivity and the Airtel Extreme Air Fiber connectivity to ensure that we get to a large chunk of the universe of CTV users, which is pegged to be about 200 million users in 2024. On the connected TV explosion piece, our big story for the upcoming year and what you can expect is a significant push towards the adoption of 4K. And here is where the Jio Air Fiber piece comes into place, to ensure that not only do people have a high-end device, but also a high-end broadband connection for them to be able to stream the 3.5 hour long match in a 4K resolution. At least from last year, the sense we got is that consumers consuming the tournament on 4K were actually, or rather are, the more affluent set in India. So working closely with us, especially on campaigns which are targeted to India's elite, 4K is a really good sort of a signal that you can take for planning such a campaign. So like I mentioned, building brand affinity on the 4K device, actually we're looking at about a reach of 40 million users in the upcoming season of IPL, which is an 80% jump from last year. So significant jump is being expected. And on JioBharat, like I mentioned, we will be opening up, playing ads during the live stream. I don't need to explain the concept of ads during a cricket match. All of us know there are breaks between every over, and then there are ads that play in that over, right? The good thing with JioBharat is that, this probably is an incremental audience that you couldn't reach out to any other way in the past, right? These are guys who are buying a phone which is a 999 device to a 1,500 rupee device, probably coming from tier 3, tier 4 markets, have a passion for the sport and want to watch the sport, these devices actually come with UPI Lite already preloaded. So you know that these people have transacting capability. So, how can you work with us, especially on campaigns where you want to drive a, high level of awareness for smaller value products? You can work with us on the JioBharat stream. And coming to what do we have, so while this was a story from a consumer lens, what all can you expect? From an advertiser lens, there are a few things that we have in the planning in the upcoming season which we think should excite a lot of advertisers and brands. So the first piece in this is, we want to actually try and recreate the whole Super Bowl kind of experience for our advertisers where, all of you probably know Super Bowl just happened the past weekend, right? And there was just so much conversation about the Uber Eats ad, the Dunkin' Donuts ad, there's so much conversation that happens around Super Bowl. And IPL actually is a perfect opportunity for brands to kind of look to replicate the same, right? Because what is it? It's actually a tournament that attracts a lot of eyeballs. And how can you ensure that you debut a creative that will be very talked about? So to that objective, we want to work with brands on something called JioCinema Brand Spotlight. Essentially, what we are planning this year on IPL is that for the first 5 overs of the opening game, there will be one ad that will play in each of those 5 over breaks. And that ad will be for a brand which is, debuting a new creative, right? And this ad is going to play as a spot across all devices. And I think we all know the power of a simulcast kind of a thing for an ad, right? Because the minute everybody sees one creative at the same time, we all know IPL opening game, everybody's going to be tuning in, to watch the match. The point of everyone watching the same creative at the same point also means that there will be that many more tweets, that many more conversations online, that much more earned media for your campaign, which you otherwise would have had to spend a lot of money to generate, right? So this is an opportunity that we're opening up to advertisers this year, which is a big one for us. And the way you have to think about it is, we've just done like a basic visualization, but the way you can think about this is that, the 35 to 40 second over break will actually begin with an animation which will say that the JioCinema Spotlight is now on brand X. There can be like a, 10-second message from your brand CMO, from your custodian, saying that, we are debuting this commercial today and we are very excited for you to see it for the first time, followed by the ad. So really sort of giving it, that pedestal, that sort of super premium pegging for people to, get talking about it. Coupled with a lot of initial PR, a lot of nudges on the platform. So before the ad appears, there will be, display assets on the platform which will say that look forward to this ad in the upcoming over, etc. And not just driving a lot of buzz on the opening day. Another thing that we've noticed about, creatives which get talked about a lot, and I think this is something to do with how brands are now reviewing their own creative strategy, is that it's no longer about just that one TVC or that one creative, that everybody wants to talk about, right? Ancillary content is also now growing at a very fast pace. In fact, when you look at the Dunkin' Donuts example, while, the Ben Affleck J-Lo ad was very, very spoken about, the content which actually went super viral was a 5-minute clip, featuring Ben Affleck that they then released on YouTube later, right? So video on demand, content actually gives a lot of legs to your campaign. And what we plan to do with brands who partner with us on the Brand Spotlight is give them a permanent real estate on our platform, where a lot of the ancillary content behind the commercial, interviews with the actors, interviews with the creative team, etc., can reside on the platform for consumption throughout the series. What this does is that in those 54 days of IPL, of course, we have super high reach, right? Very, very high footfalls onto the platform. So this really gives you that access to, ensure that your campaign and even the ancillary content actually reaches out to everyone. So that's that's one big innovation. The next big innovation, and we are very excited about this, is that really this question, what if we told you that you could have your own IPL stream? And let me put this in the context of television. In the past, to say that have your own IPL stream meant having to launch your own TV channel. And we all know that that's virtually impossible. But thanks to technology, this is now possible, right? We can actually create a separate stream which is targeted to a certain cohort and ensure that that cohort is consuming that content, right? So to this one, our thought is, how do we work closely with clients and with advertisers to ensure that we can create a super custom experience for their stakeholders, their customers, and their consumers? And you can think of it a little bit like this. So basically how this will work is, we visualize this for a brand like a royal stag. So if somebody logs on to JioCinema while the match is on, the first style that you can see, it could be, say, for example, a royal stag live at large corner, right? So a consumer knows upfront and center that we are prompting the consumer to try out the royal stag live at large corner. So a lot of nudges built onto the platform. Once somebody has gotten curious enough, clicked on that, wants to see, okay, what is this about? What are they talking about? Click on that and want to go to that feed. There'll be a lot of nudges, again, to drive a lot of branding for the client. So something to the tune of, you are now watching this stream, will appear on the screen before they start watching the match. And even in the match environment, a lot of the conversation that we do, in our pre-show, in our mid-show, actually can be tailor-made to the brand, right? A lot of times what we hear from clients is that I only have a 20-second opportunity to run my creative, and how much of storytelling can you do in that, right? I have 10 features that I want to talk about, but 20 seconds only allow me to give my tagline and maybe, some humorous bit to it. But working with us on something like this actually gives you the possibility of doing a lot more, detailed storytelling, going very in-depth and bringing alive a lot of the product features, emotional benefits of your brand, which you otherwise would have not been able to. Aside from that, you can also run a lot of custom contests only on this stream, right? So once somebody participates in this contest, you know that these people are only coming in from this stream, so in that sense, they are really just your consumer. Finally, on this one, we're also opening up an opportunity to, mount a large marketing campaign. If you partner with us on a custom feed, we're happy to share image rights, etc., to say that how can we do a big campaign which says that JioCinema and the brand are coming together to create this feed, right? So, think of it this way. A Coca-Cola could have a happiness feed, a Royal Enfield could have an adventure feed, your brand, if your brand is a D2C brand, it could have that kind of a pegging done, right? So for the first time ever, this is a very, very big idea. We are very excited about this, and hopefully, you'll see a few of these interesting ones happen with us this season. Excuse me. And coming to, while these are two big, large ideas for, driving activation around the IPL, a host of other enhancements to our regular ad assets as well. One big piece that we are unlocking this season is, 100+ cohorts for targeting. Whether it is geo clusters, whether it is device price, if you're looking to reach out to only a premium audience, we have device price targeting. If you're looking to reach out to only top 6 metros, only certain states, only certain interests. So say, for example, if you're looking to reach out to only somebody who's an online shopper versus only somebody who's a fantasy game player, right? All of these different cohorts are now going to be possible on IPL on JioCinema. And the way to reach out, of course, to these cohorts is to work with us closely to see what is the right media mix for your campaign, right? If you want to drive a very high impact, a masthead, for example, could be a good one for you to drive high impact. If you want to drive very, very high awareness, ad products like a mid-roll with carousel where you really get to show a lot of products in that 15-20 second mid-roll duration can work well. You want to drive reach very efficiently, display assets on the platform can work well. So what we've done is that we've really thought through, what problem for the brand or what business objective can the ad asset solve for. Of course, our pre-show, which has been super popular last year, Match Center Live, is up for partnership this season as well. A lot of you would recollect, we actually did a very fun activation last year when Backstreet Boys were in India. Brett Lee, Anil Kumble, etc. actually dressed up like the Backstreet Boys. That kind of went viral. So a lot of fun and a lot of insights into cricket happens on this show as well. And you can partner with us to drive very high visibility for your brand on this show. Working with us, I think you have to think of JioCinema also as a platform which has the best access to sporting talent, right? Across our multiple language feeds, we are working with the top cricket legends in the country with over 140, cricket names, right? So really, if you want to build a campaign which has some social media legs to it. A lot of advertisers today, want to not just work with us on creating buzz on our own platform, but want to see conversations happen outside of our platform as well. And the best way for you to see these conversations is to actually work with us and activate, the talent that we have in-house. And finally, just want to, kind of leave this at a high level with you. This is kind of like a revision of a lot of things that I said. So whether it is, whether the objective is driving awareness or, moving consideration, or even slightly lower funnel coming into, driving intent, we've thought of ad products that can address each of these things. And in fact, on the intent and action piece, we've got a few new innovations that we are launching this year. I don't want to bore you too much about this because a lot of this is very, very, media jargon heavy. But really what we've done this season is, try to enhance whatever we can from an ad tech point of view, whether it is targeting, whether it is an ad format, really try and see how we can work with a wide variety of brands to help them meet their goals. So yeah, that, there is, this is the final slide. There is a revolution happening, and as of today, there are like less than 30 days left for, the tournament. I mean, the date is not out yet, but, in all likelihood, March last week is when it's going to be starting. So, if you have any plans about activating a brand or being present on the tournament, happy to connect with you, outside and share more thoughts. Thank you. Thanks.
So thank you so much to the gorgeous lady out here who just did a wonderful session. Please come in the center. You have to be in the center right now. I was actually so engrossed there, and I was listening to each and every point you were discussing, being into the sports industry and into sports presenting as well. So I was keenly interested in knowing all the things that you were sharing. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And may I request all of you to please give a huge round of applause to Ms. Channi, and I would kindly request Mr. Anil Manwari to come on the stage to felicitate Ms. Simran and give her a certificate of appreciation as a token of love and thanks to her. So our gratitude to you for presenting the session so very well.
You said she was gorgeous, but she's got a lot of sales pizzas also. Great sales selling skills. Fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us for the day, and a thunderous round of applause once again to the beautiful lady. Well, I already knew you were gorgeous because I was actually given your photograph pehle, and then I know that every woman in our country is gorgeous and pretty, so yes.
Yeah, I wish I had the money, I'd be an immediate customer. The way you sold brilliantly. Thank you.
And now we'll quickly move on to the next session, which is an industry session by Mr. Ronak Maheshwari, ED and CEO from Extreme, on enriching end-user experience using Internet Exchange. May I kindly take the honor to invite Mr. Ronak Maheshwari on stage with a round of applause, please.
Hello, everyone. Probably people are feeling sleepy after lunch, it looks like. Yeah, as Mr. Anil Manwari says, please, all of you stand, please stand, please stand. He's requesting all of you to stand, and please dance. I mean, it is his request, not mine, so please dance. Oh, no, if I start jumping, it will definitely break. Okay, so let's start. This is me, and this is my company, Extreme Labs. Who we are, when we did what we did, what, why, and how. Extreme was started by 3 Bulgarian technocrats. Our first product was Extreme Acceleration Suite in 2009. We started the exchange in 2016, and we hope to start an open cache compliant CDN in 2025. It is under development. So currently our hot product that we are currently providing is Exchange. So this presentation is going to be a little bit of technical kind of thing, because I want to sell the product. So you need to understand what exactly we do and how it works, how stuff works. So I need to explain some basics. Everybody uses internet, right? All of here uses internet or provide services which run to their users using internet. There is a term called IP transit, which in India we also call as ILL, Internet Lease Line. Internet is basically a network of networks. And so I've taken a very small example of 3 networks here, A, B, C. B, users in B wanting to watch content hosted in C, but they are not directly connected. So A becomes the IP transit provider. He provides paid services to both B and C. When B and C become smart, they say, okay, let's connect directly to each other. And they remove A and stop paying to A. So this, when B and C, when they become smart, this is called peering. Clear, everyone with me right now? What is peering? What is IP transit? Good, cool. I mean, I did not get hands up, but I'm assuming everybody is understanding this. The next slide is what is an IX? So you understood peering. It is bilateral one-to-one relationship between 2 networks. So now, on the left side of this screen, you would be seeing many networks. I've classified them as content providers on one side, which is supply side of internet, and ISPs on the other side, which is delivery side of internet. So when all of them want to interconnect with each other, this is how it will look. Yeah, doable. Somebody might decide to connect with all, somebody might decide to not connect with all, etc., etc. The IX, or the internet exchange, this is not 9, this is internet exchange, IX. Many people confuse it with 9. When I started giving my cards as Extreme IX, people started saying, oh, Extreme 9. So no, this is not 9, this is IX. IX aggregates all the networks and brings them together, connects them to the same fabric so that they can exchange traffic with each other. Everybody with me yet? Clear? Can I move to the next slide? So why and how it benefits you? On the left side again, if there is no IX and let's suppose you are an application provider, the user is using the application on their mobile device or laptop, connecting via an ISP. Obviously, you would be first, the way applications work is they first connect to a proxy so that there's no DDoS, there's security, etc., etc. The proxy then connects to the content, fetches the content, and then delivers to the users. Now, without an IX, most probably this is the way it will look. This is the traffic flow. This is going to, this works. This works even today. Majority of the customers in India using your application over mobile phones, this is the way they are connecting to you. This is the primary reason the user experience sometimes is a bit glitchy because of the networks involved. Now, if the proxy, the content, and the ISPs are connected to the exchange, this is how it looks, simplified. Are you guys with me? Still with me? Cool. I mean, there's only one yes coming, so. Yes, come on. I mean, if you want me to move ahead, you have to say yes, or ask me questions. Yes? Yes, good. So, some real-world examples here. Who benefits? So, there's a very large payment gateway provider who is my customer. They decreased their latencies by 1 to 1/4 of what they were having before they connected to us. This decreased their app load times, and also this decreased the time they took to fetch dynamic data. So this is a payment gateway provider, right? You start the app, it loads from the proxy, it gets the static content, it loads the static content. The proxy then fetches a dynamic content for every user. You log in, your dynamic content is fetched from the storage, and then brought to the app. They decreased their latencies to 1/4 of what they were having before connecting to us. Gaming CDN providers, there are a few that were connected to us, reduce their latency up to sub-milliseconds. There is a specific example. If the user is a FTTH user connected to the ISP connected to me, and the gaming CDN connected to me, this will ensure almost a sub-millisecond connectivity between the gaming CDN provider and the user. So, you would have seen significant increase in experience of Riot games or games hosted on Valve. That's me. And the OTT live traffic streaming, lady before me, she gave example of IPL. I'm also going to give example of the similar period. They served IPL to 450 million users. Out of those, approximately 6 million were influenced because of our services. So, if you look at this graph, the CDN that JioCinema uses is my customer. And if you look at this graph, this is the green color, is basically traffic out from the CDN to the users. Guys with me? Everybody with me yet? Yes. So look around the popular matches, especially the most popular one, the finals, you would see a significant spike. This is the CDN delivering approximately 4 times its average mean traffic on the exchange. Now just imagine the number of users who are watching. Yeah, this is the last slide, guys. I have no more technical things to say. So just to recap, benefits of connecting to the IX: decreased latency, ease of operations, reduced infra requirements. I mean, the same infra that the CDNs or OTTs that they have can be used via the IX to provide their content, deliver their content, or provide their services to many users. They don't need to replicate for each network. And the cost, obviously, I mean, whoever wants to connect can speak to me, but it will be approximately 1/5 of your delivery cost right now. QA? No, I actually believe if I don't get questions, which means the audience has understood everything, or they have understood nothing. So which category should I put you in? So almost all wireline broadband providers in the country leaving the telcos, you put a hand on the city that operating and they are connected to me. The CDNs of these OTT pros, so OTTs have multi-CDN approach. There's one primary CDN, secondary CDN, and tertiary CDN. All the CDNs are connected to me. I would like to, I skipped one point. Mr. Chokani, he asked who are connected to us. So if on the right side of the screen, you will see the IXP operator market. This report is by Internet Society. It's a reputed third-party institution, runs across the globe. They create a lot of reports, a lot of insights for the market. This is what they published for India market. Extreme Infocom, this is my company. We have 47% market share. The next two combined have 3% less than me right now. No more questions? No questions at all? I don't know. Last time also I did not get any questions. Oh, no, my costs are actually declared on the website.
No, so when you say that every OTT provider has a primary CDN, secondary CDN, tertiary CDN, so should they reach out to you or the CDN provider reach out to you?
The OTT provider should reach out to me. The network infra, I mean, they should set up network infra departments in their companies. Currently, most of the OTTs that I am aware of don't have such departments.
Exactly.
They should create this department. They should reach out to me if they really want to engage, one, in reducing cost. I mean, cost is not just the factor, but also increasing user experience.
So how will that work technically? Then you will explain.
Yeah. Of course. We'll also help you understand what you should set up, what kind of things you should set up. Yeah, but then infra is capex, right? I mean, you are currently paying opex to your CDNs. I mean, the CDNs, if there is any CDN sitting here, is going to grab my throat outside. Yeah, you continue with your CDN. Because, see, you saw that graph where I showed this kind of jump. Now, this practical jump is practically free of cost for the CDN, but he's charging the OTTs. I beg your pardon, sir? Yes.
So, yep, great. We got it. Thanks, Sir Ronak.
Thank you.
Questions were asked today.
Mr. Anil was right. You were pretty clear in your presentation. So nobody had any questions. And I think my advice worked. Yeah, please stay back on stage. We have a felicitation for you also, token of appreciation. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Ronak? Oh, I got scared. All right. I would like to invite Mr. Anil Vanvari on stage. Would like to invite Dr. Prem Ojha on stage to please come over and provide a felicitation to Mr. Ronak as a token of appreciation. Can we please provide him with the felicitation certificate? Thank you. I think for the audience to ask questions, we had to give them offers that your choice of coffee would be served on your table if you'll ask a question, right? So next time you'll ask that, right? Thank you. And thank you for responding so well on my talks. Otherwise, I was like that irritating teacher. Whenever she comes on stage, students go quiet. And when she goes back, they just wait for it. Now we are moving forward to the next fireside chat that we have. Before we start the last panel, it's a quick, very interesting fireside chat on driving distribution success with NextC. So for this, to talk about this, we have Mr. Sanjay Duda, CEO PlanetCast. Please put your hands together and join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjay, who is on stage in conversation with Mr. Anil Vanvari, founder, chairman, and editor-in-chief, IndianTelevision.com Group. Yes.
Oh, the mic's come. Trust me to be impatient. Yeah. My team is going to give me a earful for being impatient. But nonetheless, let's begin. Sanjay, you've been a pioneer at many things. SL Sham days, now PlanetCast. So what are the major trends you're seeing in terms of the entire pipeline, the workflows that are going on in terms of production, acquisition, creation, production, acquisition, distribution? What are the major trends you're seeing?
Hi, Anil. Thank you. Well, we have been listening to some very interesting sessions, and the more you hear, the more you get confused. You think you know something, then you hear something else. But largely, what we have seen in the last 25 years, and more so in the last, I would say, 5-7 years, that most of the trends are being driven by the fact that on both sides, production and consumption, the creation environment is exploding. There are large, medium, very small content creators, and they need to deliver to ever-increasing profiles of people, viewers, who are viewing across multiple devices. So there are multiple options for delivery, and there are multiple creators on this side. So this actually is what is creating most of the pressure, creating most of the, I would say, giving direction to development. Clearly, content will always be king. It will always be the most important determinant of success. So the main, I would say, the stress right now is, how do you get your content to the right cohorts of viewers? How do you monetize your content? How do you get your money for the content that you have created in the most effective and efficient way? And how do you retain your viewers time after time? Slowly, earlier, this whole pipeline had multiple stages, multiple players. There were 3 or 4 middlemen, so to speak, who were, there was a content creator, then the content creators used to provide the content to a large broadcaster, an aggregator, then they used to then process that and then deliver it to the next stage for maybe creating linear channels for playout or and slowly creating VOD assets. Then it used to go to the next digital platform or a cable platform, cable head end or a DTH head end, from where it was then distributed to final consumers who were managed by local cable operators or a DTH operator. This whole pipeline was well oiled. There were clear business models and people were making money. But now what has happened is everything has been disrupted by the fact that the entire environment has become digital. And we are seeing that the content creator is increasingly able to see who is viewing the content. And everything is getting driven by data. Information on who is viewing the content, how long they have been viewing the content, and that has determined, that has kind of created avenues for many technologies to come in, which will, advertising, targeted advertising, so that you can earn more for every viewer that you are reaching. So this is how the overall ecosystem has changed. From a production perspective, how this has now forced creators to think, innovate on how do you produce content. Content is of 2-3 types. One is the live content, which is actually driving this pipeline. And then there is the episodic content. Then there's the user-generated content. The UGC content technologies are driven by the fact that users should be very easily able to create, curate, and deliver the content. The GECs or the episodic content or the movies, which is the library content, has its own non-linear production behavior. There are also technologies that have changed. There's a lot of VFX, a lot of virtual productions. All the world is changing so that you don't have to create one studio and then break it down and then create it again for the next show. And in between this is the live. In the live content aggregation, there are a lot more changes. There's a lot of immersive content coming in. There is now people are looking at 360 cameras at the venue, creating a kind of a remote viewer or an e-viewer kind of a situation. Also now, data regarding the content that's going in is also traveling with it. So there's for sports, for example, all the information about the players is traveling along with it. A lot of the times, you can create a game. Already it's happening. Based on the performance of the players, the rating is determined on a daily basis, and there's a whole gaming industry around it. So these are the things that are driving the production technology at this end.
Yep, that's fascinating. You actually gave us a tour of how the evolution has happened, and I can picture it enough. How many of you all understood what he was saying? Put up your hands. And how many of you all related to it? Prashant did. I can see him scratching his head. Okay. And so did the other gentleman. So fantastic. Now, this evolution has happened. Where does your company come into play? Because you were a playout station, you were an uplinking, you provided uplinking facilities. Yeah. And Prashant was one of your first customers.
Oh, absolutely.
And he continues to be a customer.
He continues to be a customer.
And he boasts about it also.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we have been together. We have gone through this journey together, ups and downs, and we have survived, of course. So yes, I think the entire all the players in this industry have seen change. Initially, there was some amount of, I would say, denial, I would say, and then acceptance, then innovation, and then change. We started our journey providing essentially distribution over satellite, bringing live videos from the from the arenas. It could be news or it could be sports, but it largely satellite driven. And we created a huge infrastructure for it.
So that was uplinking and downlinking.
It was uplinking, DSNG services. We were the first. We set up the first commercial teleport in the country. And then, as the media industry was growing rapidly in the country, our only thought was, how do we create more teleports? How do we set up more facilities at that point of time? Then we saw that with this change happening, the need to, there are two things that are happening. People were going into a zone where they were not too sure. Earlier, most of our services were, because we needed to invest a lot of money to set up this infrastructure to provide services to our 4 or 5 customers. We used to obviously have 5-year agreements, 10-year agreements. But as we all have stepped into a world where people have to keep trying, the viewers or the consumers have become very choice-oriented. They don't want to watch a particular, let's say, a channel or a particular platform all the time. They need to the right to stop the subscription and go somewhere else. Similarly, all the broadcasters, therefore, they would also like to experiment, but if they have to be tied down with 3-year, 5-year contracts, they won't go there. So therefore, we've also realized that we need to create solutions which are flexible in terms of commitment from customers. And eventually, we, as some of these services become robust and they're accepted, then you automatically see long-term commitments.
I understand. So that's where Next C comes in.
So what we did was we have expanded. I won't say moved. We have expanded from very infrastructure-heavy services to a platform-driven service, set of platform-driven services. We are moving from our on-prem to cloud. What that has done is, on cloud, you are able to, there are 2 things you can do. One is that your services can be flexible in terms of commitments from the customer, and you can deliver services globally, anywhere. It connects up the entire world and opens it up to you. Whereas infrastructure-based services, you need to set up something, and they're very regional in their, in their influence. Now, what Next C does is, we have seen over the years, the content journey, it has 4 individual stages.
Which is what you talked about earlier.
Correct. So one stage is the creation, where you're creating the content. Once you've created the content needs to be, I would say, made addressable. There is a lot of data that has to be attached. Meta tagging has to be done. Content has to be prepared for consumption. You have to check it for quality, technical quality, SNP, to make sure it meets with the content rules and regulations based on where you want to sell the content. And you also then create another layer of it, which is localization. If you're sending, if I'm creating content in India and the broadcaster wants or the publisher wants to send deliver it in Korea or Middle East or Malaysia, so there's requirement for subtitling, dubbing, and SNP. These are the localization inputs that go into the client. So that part is essentially content management part. Then when you made the content, there is need to create promos around it so that you are able to market your content. So then we have the post-production where you do on-air promotion or creating OEPs or creating teasers. That's the second part of the journey, the stage that the content goes through. Now, these days, once that is done, your content is essentially ready for consumption. Either it will go as a VOD asset, which is then delivered to an OTT platform, or it could be archived for later use, or it could be sent to a play-out solution where it is converted into a linear stream. So that is the third stage. And once it's created into a linear stream, it is then delivered to either directly to customers, or it could be delivered to a cable operator or a digital head end, or a fast, TV channel, or a fast, a fast digital head end. And so delivery is the other aspect of it. So essentially, the content, once it's created, it moves from stage to stage to stage to the final destination, which could be your handsets, where you're watching it either on Instagram, you could be watching it on YouTube, on Meta. So every platform has its own technical specs, and you need to create that content for each spec. Or it can be delivered to a teleport from where it can be uplinked, or it can be delivered to a digital head-end from where it's delivered on OTT through an OTT platform. These three main solutions, or you can say modules, we have been involved with all of these three modules over the period of time. First, we started with essentially delivery, then we did playouts, and I would say maybe 6-7 years ago, we got into the post-production domain. And now, since we realized that we need to go global, we need to go on cloud, the need was to put it all together under a single platform, under a single umbrella, so to speak. What we found was that it missed only the last stage, which is the OTT. Why we did not go very aggressively initially for OTT was because everybody was wanting to set up their own OTTs. But we have seen over the years now, and we know that it's going to happen sooner, people will eventually want to outsource the OTT function as well. Because right now, every OTT has different feature sets. Every OTT player believes that their OTT has something very special that only they know, they have created. Eventually, all OTT technology will become quite standard. All features will be offered quite standard. And that is where everybody will want to outsource it. It is just a technical platform, and that's what it is. So we, therefore, put together the entire set of solutions, right from acquisition to delivery to consumption. And this year named NextC.
C stands for cloud or next?
C stands for comprehensive.
Comprehensive.
Yeah. And incidentally, it rhymes with sexy. So we thought, why not?
Fantastic. That's great. So, and you found customers for it so far within India and overseas?
Yes. In fact, we had customers who were using these, each of these modules anyway. So as we have started evangelizing the NextC concept, it becomes automatically an upgrade for them. And we are able to upsell the other stages, other services on either side of what they're using. A playout or customer is ready to utilize the content aggregation bit. A content aggregation customer is happy to do post-production with us. So that we find that it's a very, I would say, easy to sell, easy to manage platform. And like we have seen in almost everything, in all these technologies, what you've seen is you think of all the problems that you're solving and you create a product. And once the product is used, it starts generating its own workflows, its own advantages, and it creates another set of development requirements on top of it. We are already seeing that, because everything is on a single platform, you're saving a lot of multiple functions. It's a single sign-on, common database. We are able to pull a lot of metadata from various stages. And eventually, it's a part of our development plan. We will enable AI-based analytics based on all the data that we are collecting. And that will automatically give you kind of reports or give you advice on which content is selling better, which content needs to be set to which platform. And you can get a real-time, literally a real-time feedback on what is happening through the entire process.
Wow. Any buyers? Any buyers in the audience? I mean, he's giving you centralized solution which you put in stuff, you get it ready for uplinking. I'm in it. Again, I wish I had the money I would buy in at some stage. But you've been...
You didn't even ask me how much it's going to cost. But
no, so how much is it going to cost? I normally am scared of asking those questions because then the people say it's individual based. It's, every single client. Tell me.
I was about to say the same.
Yeah.
But definitely the idea is that it saves money because you're cutting out a lot of repetition of processes. And end of the day, it's a solution that you can use as long as you want.
And all formats are acceptable by it. It's not that it's...
All formats. It takes in all the input formats are, can range from MXF to MOV to any. In fact, we are using for one of our customers who are bringing live feeds from outside. They bring sometimes the worst quality feeds, and we are able to stabilize those feeds and put them back into the system. The fact is that this is nothing new. What we have done is
I understand. All you've done is you've labeled it,
we
and
just
second
put it together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. All of these modules we have been using for our customers.
And you're virtualizing it a lot more. That's what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And that's the way the world is going. Grassvalley is going the same way.
It's well tested, well used by our customers. So it's nothing new. It's just putting things together so that people can make better sense of what they're doing. You've seen that there's so many questions, more questions than answers that are coming up these days. The least that you can do is make things easier and simpler.
And you've made it very easy and simple for a person as dumb as me to understand what you're saying. But thank you very much. And it's been a great session. I think I've had a great conversation. I hope the audience appreciates what he shared with you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Definitely, yes. And we kindly appreciate the gentleman on the stage. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us and giving us a better way of understanding things and collectively enriching our knowledge. May I take a moment of your time, Mr. Vanwari, to felicitate Mr. Sanjay on stage, please? Can we please put our hands together for both the gentlemen on stage? Thank you so much, Mr. Sanjay, for joining us for the day. Really glad to have you, and thanks all over again to both of you. Now we'll quickly move towards the next session that we have on the perspectives on advertising economy and the role of video in it. So there are a lot of questions in this. Firstly, what are the key factors influencing the advertising industry's shift towards digital and online platforms? The next one could be, what trends are shaping the future of video advertising in the advertising economy? And the next one, moreover, is what challenges do advertisers face in ensuring their video content is engaging and memorable in a crowded digital landscape? To get the answers to all these questions, we have an elaborated session by our esteemed speakers. To start with it, would like to invite on stage Ms. Priyanka Khaneja Gandhi, Director, Integrated Brand Experience Lead, Colgate-Palmolive India Limited. Please welcome Ms. Priyanka. Only I'm doing the applause. May I request all of you to please give a huge round of applause for the gorgeous lady out there on the dais. Now I would like to invite Ms. Sheena Kapoor, Head Marketing, Corporate Communications and CSR, ICICI Lombard. Please welcome Ms. Kapoor. We have Ms. Amita Srivastava, Vice President, West, CARA India. Please welcome Ms. Amita. All the empowered women on stage. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we would like to welcome all of you. Mr. Vastav is there on the dais, and would like to invite our session chair, Mr. Deepak Sonpar, Managing Partner, Essence Mediacom India. Please welcome Mr. Sonpar. Over to you, Mr. Sonpar.
Thank you. A very, very warm welcome to the panel, and thank you for taking time out. I think for the day, it's the first panel full of women, so put that benchmark in. So the first question to start the conversation is, we live in an era which is now called the post-COVID landscape era, right? And if in the landscape, if there's any trend that you all have observed, any notable trends that you think are worth leveraging, that's where I would like to kick off the session with. So Amita, inviting you to start that.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? Good? Better? Thank you. So we're going to be talking about the advertising landscape right now. So I want to begin by saying the first thing over here, that there is so much fragmentation right now that it's an era of choices for the consumers, right? TV, of course, continues to be, very important for everybody, but digital is something which has been jumping and, leaping and leapfrogging its way to the top. And it has beaten TV and is kind of like, growing and becoming even more dominant. So digital is the first thing which I'm going to be talking about. It is something which, we are looking at largely also because of the exponential growth of internet and mobiles, smartphones, right? Smartphones have given us this option of targeting our audiences, and mobile content is something which is growing very strongly. In fact, all our websites now need to be mobile compliant. Otherwise, people come back saying that, "Arey, ye kaisi website hai?" Ye brand kaisa hai, which doesn't work on my mobile. So digital, backed by mobile, and then backed by social. Because once you have a mobile in hand, social is something which is jumping down your throat. Every other option of a Facebook or a Snapchat or Meta or Google. So you have people jumping on that bandwagon. And brands using all of these social methods to reach out to your audiences. It allows you to target them well. So that is something which works in digital because you can target the entire user journey and capture your audiences where they are and, even hyper-local, target them. Now that has led you to a video content boom. Brands want to increasingly focus on all kinds of content. It is no longer just a domain of the publishers or the content creators. It is the brands which are getting into it and seamlessly integrating themselves into this space. I'm sure both of you will have a few examples to add on to that. I'm looking forward to it. After the video content bit, I want to just touch upon very briefly on programmatic. Because from an advertiser's perspective, it is content which you're speaking of. From the agency perspective, programmatic becomes very important because that helps us deliver efficiencies, the best buying which is possible to reach out to the kind of audiences which we are looking at. So programmatic is something which is a trend which I think will only become stronger and stronger as we go along. Another thing which I want to very briefly talk about is native advertising. So while we have a lot of content which is going on, which is a little brash in terms of, exposing a brand and talking very specifically about brand values, pointers, etc., there are some brands which prefer the approach of a slightly more seamless integration. And I think they are the ones who are going into this native advertising space and utilizing it very well to speak to their audiences. The last couple of points which I want to make are about how content becomes important in the vernacular context. A very large part of our content today is driven by English and Hindi also. But there are a lot of areas where vernacular is something which makes people take actions in a far more interested and informed manner. And for that, I think it is a very important area to approach for advertisers. If they are able to create content which works in vernacular, in regional and local spaces, we have found that that works far better than sticking to just an English-based content. The last thing which I want to talk about is cable. Now, cable is something which we are all very used to. It's something which we used to plan, years ago for TV, and somewhere in the middle it kind of fell away because of measurability issues. So initially we had, some bit of coverage through TAM, etc. for cable. But then because of, as I said, measurability, we are not able to utilize it so much. Although I think there is a lot of opportunity for cable to really be used in a hyperlocal context. and build on that, to be used by the advertisers as well.
People has the capacity to go very, very hyper-local.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely. Yeah.
So a quick follow-up question, versus say 10 years ago or 5 years ago, how easy or difficult is it to reach this consumer today?
I think it's a very mixed answer you're going to get. So it is easy in the sense that we have so many options now, but it is also equally difficult because, because of the same options, there is just too much on the plate. So you can choose, yes, today something works, tomorrow something doesn't work, because the audience is very capricious, So if they like particular content, they are following the content now. They are not following a channel or a platform. So you have to be there where the audience is. So like I said, programmatic is something which will help you a lot in that way from the agency's perspective.
Got it. So may I take away that agency's job is going to get more difficult?
Yeah, but it's fun.
Got it. Got it. So keeping in context of what you said about both the expansion and the fragmentation, right? So what of these notable changes that we've seen in context of video consumption, how are we leveraging them? What are the brands doing? How do we intend to leverage them, including the new age programmatic and AI? So inviting Sheena.
Yeah, thanks, Deepak. I think in terms of the trends overall and how it's changed from yesteryears to now, a lot of it actually Amita has already covered, whether you're talking about proliferation of devices, and therefore there's disintegration of devices, because earlier on you would sit as a family, as one household, sit in front of the idiot box, and there was a certain program that everybody in the household was consuming, and therefore was forced to consume the advertisement that was being played. Today, when you talk, you're talking about, in the same household, there are multiple devices, and I'm not just talking about television. We are talking, people are consuming content with the, like I talked about, the disintegration of devices. You're talking about iPads, mobile phones, multiple TV screens, laptops, and everybody, the other big change is that everybody is now moving more and more towards content and video on demand. So I want to consume what I want to consume, depending on the genre that I like and that I am inclined towards, which makes the task for a brand, therefore, a lot more tougher, because A, you're talking about vying for the same kind of attention span with the consumers, and you've got to now spend a lot more. You've got to have higher frequency, and you've got to be able to have multiple touch points and know exactly where the consumer is to be able to reach and target the content. The other big trend that we've seen, again, Amita touched upon it, is on the social media and the influencers space. What that does is today, your go-to role models for a brand are no longer confined to your actors or celebrities. You're talking about micro-influencers. You're talking about that next-door neighbor, that auntie, or that uncle or that kid who's been able to hook you with the kind of content, whether it is entertaining, whether it is engaging, and therefore brands are now looking and exploring at associating with such influencers and micro-influencers, because you know that there is a huge affinity with the kind of following that they have. The entire tech space of AI, ML, and now, Gen AI, generative AI, that has actually opened up multiple formats as well in terms of video. The formats of video itself has gone from an attention span of, earlier you had a long form content which would do well on, YouTube, which could be, say 1 minute or even 20-minute content. Today you've got, the attention span is so minuscule that you're vying, the same audience is vying for a 10-second or reels on Insta or, YouTube and your TikTok. And in fact, I was reading about it, interestingly, there is an e-commerce company in China where the main protagonist is actually selling products in just 3 seconds. And her only job is to just ship, demonstrate, hold, an apparel or a t-shirt or a product, whatever it is that she's selling in 3 seconds. So you're talking about, therefore, as a brand, when you talk about it, that's the kind of attention span of the user. From our perspective at ICICI Lombard, we're India's largest private general insurance company. We've actually taken a huge leap, and I'm very excited on the entire Gen AI space. So building on that, actually, just a few months ago, September, October, we actually launched industry's first new Gen AI-led campaign on insurance, where the entire, and it's video, but the beauty of this was that the entire script, the production, the editing was completely done using AI tools. So end to end, that was what was, and it was, we had 3 films, one on motor, one on travel, one on health. And the other big trend is on personalization, which I'm sure we can cover in subsequent conversations.
Sure.
Great, thank you.
I think you put it very well when you said families used to watch TV together, now no one does that together. Just a twist because, I was with my family a few weeks ago and all of us were watching TV and I genuinely felt that we are back to watching TV, but this time TV is a little more connected and not linear. Very well said. A little twist, and I'll invite Priyanka for this question, is adding to what Sheena and Amita have said is, how do brands and what benefits have you seen in your life and how has it impacted the video channel selection or channel marketing strategies at your end?
Thanks, Deepak. So let me break it into 3 parts. Okay, one is of course the narrative of video, right? What do you want to tell to consumers? And now we know we talk to urban audiences with benefits which are premium, all the way down to rural audiences, and then we look at states. So one is how do you change the narrative of your video storytelling based on who you're talking to, getting the right language, getting the right context, and also building the proposition that is more relevant. So when we are talking to somebody in rural India, then you want to talk about the product benefit and the availability and the value proposition of the product, in rural. And then we are talking to people in South, or let's say in TN, then how do you bring in the right cultural nuances and not just create one ad and then, do language dub. So that world is over, and we really look at going hyper-local as much as possible, even in terms of creating content. The second part is what, they've been talking about is multiplicity of formats and videos, right? So a video is not like one piece of content that you make. I think the bigger challenge is how do you tell a story, and what story do you tell in a 30-second format, in a 60-second format, in a 20-second format, in a 15, and a 6. So from a brand point of view, when we look at a campaign development, we have to think of how do you communicate this in a 30, 20, and 6. And it's not about a cut down. Increasingly, we are talking about, okay, what should the story be when you have only 6 seconds to communicate? And of course, as you look at your audiences, the channels and the touch points are shortlisted based on what is the right mix. But beyond that, we also look at what is the touch point and what is the content that you need to create. And increasingly trying to create content which is more, format out and not cut downs. So it's a journey. For that, the bigger challenges are you need agency ecosystems that can create multiplicity of assets. You need people who can think differently on different channels. And you need very agile content creation devices, right? Because coming from the advertiser side, now instead of creating 1 or 2 videos, we need to create maybe 100 videos. You bring in the challenge of personalization, which is on digital. If people are consuming a certain kind of content like shopping or, who like beauty, you can personalize the content. So the multiplicity of content is one of our bigger initiatives is how do we get to creating content at scale and with agility. And one such initiative that we did is, in 2022, we actually set up an in-house content team to enable that. How can we therefore, look at content creation at scale? If there's an idea, how can we create it in-house? So that's one of the sort of initiatives that we're doing. The third part of video creation is also you're looking at consumer journey, and as a brand, what's the funnel that you really target? You want to catch attention with a proposition that sort of is meaningful to a consumer in their life, and then you then need to sort of, so that the person remembers, okay, this is a brand that I've heard of, this is a brand that's relevant for me. And then you have to go down to saying, okay, now I need to know why is this better than what I'm using, right now. So then that requires a different kind of a persuasive message. What we typically say is attention, consideration, and then you move people down the purchase. So it's not just about one message, that does the job. So if I am, for example, and let me take a recent example, and I hope all of you have seen the communication is now, we have been trying to communicate and build this habit of brushing at night, right? Now, the attention that we are catching is, the insight that we had is most Indians, all Indians love sweets, but they sort of, end their night with just sweets and not brushing. And that's the hook that we have used to catch attention, to get attention saying you need to brush at night. Having said that, we know that that's not enough. You still need to, people hear about it, but they don't necessarily start doing the habit, right? Then you need to create content which sort of helps them to understand what are the consequences of not brushing at night, right? So these are additional exposures. It's not about one piece of content into exposing it 10 times, right? If you go by the classic reach and frequency model, you'll end up doing that. But it is about how often do you reach with the right kind of communication. So it is about building different types of video content to address a particular task in the journey of the consumer.
Well, very well put. Just to give you an anecdote for me, because I have a young son, brushing at night is a family activity. That's how you're teaching them. But just a follow-up question, and then I'll invite Amita also. Is there any platform or format that you've seen emerge and become more prominent?
Look, Reels, short format and Reels is an emerging, highly consumed format. We've seen on these social media channels, when you use Reels, it helps you to get more reach and engagement, which means people are consuming it more. Likewise, very recently, we've done a campaign where for a whitening toothpaste, one of our tasks was, we realized that while people are aware of it, there are still, people are asking questions around how does it work? Is it efficacious? Is it safe for my teeth? Where did we get this insight from? We got this insight from, the reviews that you get, right? When people give you feedback. So when we realized that we need to start communicating, how does it work? How long does it take? You need to reinforce that in people. So here we said, okay, the route that we took was, we said we'll go out to influencers. There are lots of beauty influencers and people anyways, follow them. And usually you would first go with the story that is more, constructed in the way of how you want to communicate the benefit. But this time we gave them a lot of leeway. We said, okay, we will do shorts. We will do content that is really in the life of the influencer. It will be, very sort of conversational, not really hard on man. And we've seen very good results, right? We had to also be uncomfortable or at least shift away from a brand lens of saying, let the person do what they're doing, let them be funny. And we've seen very, very good early reads on, engagement being much higher, people interacting with the content much higher. So I think what I see happening more is brands being more comfortable when you use influencer or more organic content spaces like this, giving more leeway on storytelling, which should help deliver on the brand task, but it's not necessarily a branded story. How do you make it more relevant in the native environment that people want to consume?
Fantastic. Amita, same question to you, just to bring your perspective in. Any format or platform have you seen becoming more prominent in the recent years?
Yes, Deepak. I would say that every format which engages with the audience is slowly gaining more and more traction. So if you see any audio video format, obviously that is the one which will pick up first, right? Storytelling is best done in the AV format, which Priyanka just touched upon. So that is what I think is the future forward trend which we can note here. From the consumer's perspective, the attention spans are really becoming shorter and shorter. So when advertisers ask us what is the ideal length I should use, we are caught in a bit of a quandary because there is some bit of storytelling which is absolutely essential. So you can't always tell them ki, I want a 6 seconder because efficiency to main wahin se laungi. you know. So because your objective, I think, could well be a 60-seconder at times. And when the agency comes back and says, give me a 6-seconder, it's like, what are you talking? So that happens. It happens with all our, you know, clients. But I think, you know, advertisers and brands have learned how to make engaging content. Sometimes it is user-generated content. Sometimes it is integrated content into, you know, other types of content from publishers, etc. Everything which is engaging is the way people are going forward. YouTube is one big thing which, you know, people are looking at. Shorts, that is something which has picked up. All the social media you can see, everybody is using social media, they're using influencers. Every different type of way to generate interest in your story, in your connect with the, you know, your consumer. That is what brands are doing. So from a future perspective, these are the spaces which brands will be looking to, you know, augment more and more. Yeah, so that's what I think.
So I take away 2 words. I think the first word is impatience. The second word is trust. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. That brings me to my next question. And I'll invite Sheena here. In the era and the world of personalization, how does a brand approach personalization from a lens of creativity, content and media?
Right. So let me give you examples, and I think that will best demonstrate the beauty of this. So as is the case for any brand, irrespective of industry that you're in, you have, say, a call to action of you want the user, you've acquired him from digital, multiple channels, affiliate marketing, whether it's Meta, YouTube, whatever. You want the guy to come to your landing page, give your lead capture, and then there's a conversion funnel, right? And then you will have that, obviously with every funnel, you will have traffic that's landing. He or she may or may not fill up the lead that you want the action, the customer to do. And even if they have filled up the lead, they've not gone on to the conversion to actually go ahead and seamlessly purchase and actually pay for the product. They've dropped off somewhere in the journey, right? And which is why you've got remarketing and all of that. So we've had the same challenge. And of course, we've been doing remarketing, retargeting as most brands do. But we took this, and since you spoke about personalization, and that's what we delved on. So we said, okay, we have customers landing onto our website. We are getting quotes generated because we're insurance, so it's policy quotes. So I want to buy, say, a car insurance, you know, say, you know, tarara, these are my details of the car, and I've gotten a quote generated on the website. And I've left a lead, but I have not gone on to purchase the policy. Now, what we did was, with the same customers, now within a span of 10 minutes, and again, using Gen AI tools, because we have the database already, we have the tools and platforms already, we have actually done a celebrity-led video. And so we've got Milind Soman in this case, who's actually talking. So if it's Deepak who's come onto the site, quote has been generated, but you have dropped off. There is a video that is pushed out to you saying, hey, Deepak, you know, urgency is of need. And the whole film, there is a storytelling, but it's personalized with Deepak. And it's Milind Soman saying, hey, Deepak, why don't you complete this? You know, similarly, we're using the same tool for our channel partners. So let's say Amita is one of my channel partners, and I want to drive more engagement with her, and I want her to get more engaged with the business and drive, you know, more, drive more leads, generate more business. I'm now sending the Milind Soman video, personalized with her name, where Milind's saying, you know, and I wish, you know, I had the video, we could have played that, but, you know, Milind Soman saying, "Main hero nahi, Amita hero hai, asli hero." Now look at the kind of pride and joy that the channel partner would feel, because immediately it's a wow, it's a delight, there's a surprise factor, there's an intrigue. You have gotten the customer engaged enough to take that call to action that you want, right? So that's the level of personalization that we are toying with, and you know, we are already delivering and demonstrating results for. I'll give you another example. You know, and when you spoke about storytelling and narrative, again, we're in health insurance. So we said we wanted to pick up around, this was around World Heart Day. And we said, okay, India, by 2050, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be the world's biggest capital of heart attacks. That's what the statistics say. We're already in the top 3, and we're going to be the largest statistic. And it's not something statistic that we need to be proud of. It's something extremely concerning, right? And you hear and read about younger guys, marathoners who are having heart attacks on gym while running and all of that. So we took CPR. We said, okay, let's talk about something new, and we spoke about CPR. Now, as the device, if you wanted to just educate the customers on how CPR is actually a tool that actually saves lives, we engaged from a storytelling perspective. We tied up with Imran Hashmi. Why Imran Hashmi? Because he's seen as a serial kisser. And what we actually said as a storytelling is that, CPR is not a kiss, just a kiss, like media, makes it a frivolous this thing. It's actually a kiss of life. It's actually something that's saving a precious life there. So, yeah, those are just some examples.
Very, very good hook. Going a little deeper on personalization, right? I just want to pick your brain, and Priyanka, pick your brain on what's the role of first-party data to drive optimized video performance, to drive efficiency there?
Yeah, so Sheena spoke about one-on-one personalization, which is what first-party data enables you to do. But see, in scaled businesses like us, we've realized that, with one-on-one interactions, you can only, we as a brand touch millions of people, right? Almost everyone. So even if you scale it up, even if you get to a few millions, it is small in scale. So how are we trying to use it is, we are trying to understand audiences better. We are, through our own sort of programs, activations, trying to build in a community of people through our Colgate Smiles Club initiative, where we get people into the club and, of course, get their data. Then we understand them through their sort of, attributes and understanding what are they engaging with through a one-on-one communication, which is either through email or SMSs. And once we identify and know a little bit more about them, so for example, now we know people who have interacted with a whitening toothpaste or with content around beauty. We know that, okay, these are people who are interested in beauty. And then from that first-party data, we are scaling that up onto other digital channels, right? Through their sort of data matching techniques to build lookalikes, which are more people of this kind. The insight and the assumption being these are people who are more deeply, involved in your category, higher quality audiences, and therefore using them in our media plans in order to get better results out of the plan. And of course, these things are possible for us only on very sharper segments, like whitening, where we know that, people who are interested in beauty are the most likely to first buy into the category, or it could be kids' toothpaste, where we can identify parents and get them to, target them. So really for us, the larger use case that is driving impact and will drive more impact in future is scaling this up on channels and enabling personalization at scale here. And by personalization here, I mean is identifying the audience, which is, and then customizing the right kind of solution, oral care solution, oral care content for them, so that it can help them in their life and help us to give them the right sort of solutions from a portfolio point of view.
Fantastic. Coming to my last one or two questions, a generic one, not specific to first-party data, but how do you measure success of a video campaign or of a video?
So overall, the success metrics are really twofold. One, as brands, everything that we do around demand generation or, creating awareness has to land up to mind measures of brand health, which is, if it is to drive top of mind of spontaneous and consideration, it should lead to uplifts in that. And of course, the larger objective is to drive business. So there are 3 levels of KPIs that we look at: business, brand, and more directly from a video or a plan outcome, it will be what you can measure from a video. It would be reach. How many people are you reaching at what times? In terms of engagement and interaction, you will look at quality measurements like, view-through rates, how much time people are spending on the video. And then, of course, the other important criteria for us is safety and viewability. I mean, are we reaching the right audience? Is the video delivery happening to the right people and the right measure? So those are, a few metrics that we look at. So whether it is on broad audiences or if we activate first-party data audiences, the measurements are similar. We are looking to see, which audience or which channel is doing better versus anything else on the same metrics.
Got it. Thank you so much. Sheena, and then I'll come to Amita. One question for you all is seek your guidance on how to stay innovative in today's world on video. And when I say video, it's across TV, social, video platforms everywhere. How does one stay innovative? How does one get the consumer's attention, given the impatience?
Yeah, so like I said, it's about the art of storytelling and the kind of hook that you have basis the insight and the narrative that you want to build. Sometimes the storytelling itself can be innovative and disruptive and differentiated enough. Like endeavor for me and for my team and the agency is to do innovative work, and we try and do something which is, and in fact very soon next week we're breaking a campaign which we believe is innovative as well. And like I said, we've already done industry first initiatives with Gen I. Completely the film was scripted, edited and produced using only AI tools. I have already started working internally where we're churning out translations using AI, so it's innovative. We're already started doing talking heads avatars, so it's actually AI generated tool that's talking, and it's not a boring presentation or a video, but it makes it a lot more engaging because the format is innovative. We're doing interactive and immersive videos as well, so wherein the call to actions is actually linked and integrated within the video itself. So as channel partner, if I want the channel partner to click on a certain product, to buy now, recruit here, whatever be the call to action that I want him to do, it's actually integrated within the video itself as part of the storytelling. So those are the innovative formats that you can play around with, and actually there's no end to the imagination when it comes to innovation, and you can do that as the film content and from media touchpoints. An innovative use of an influencer or a celebrity, if you're able to build a connect with a very hutke influencer or a stand-up comic, that itself is innovation. And therefore, that's part of your media planning and strategy from an innovation standpoint.
Fantastic. Very, very well put. Amita, how would you guide us? What should we do to stay innovative? Any trends that you see, any test you would want us to recommend?
See, I think, frankly speaking, Sheena has covered most of it. Okay, I'll just add that, innovation is a word which is very abused. Okay, so we don't always need to be innovative to be successful. It just has to be something which interacts well with your audiences, which communicates what it is that you want to say to the person you are talking to, so that he can take an appropriate action. And if that happens, then your innovation or lack of innovation really doesn't matter at times, because you have finally, joined the dots, and the person has understood your communication and taken the kind of action which you really want. In terms of the formats, etc., I think short format is really going to be the way most things move in terms of any communication from a brand. You just spoke about the 3-second story, so I hope it really doesn't become a 3-second.
Imagine selling products in 3 seconds.
I think even a 6-seconder really is a very short and just like a call to action kind of space. And I personally like slightly longer format. At least it has to tell some story for me to get engaged with the brand. So I think these are the kind of things, as long as you're able to talk to your audience, segment that audience, communicate what you want to, I think that is what is critical today.
Fantastic, thank you. Yeah. That brings us to an end of this discussion. I will leave the audience with a 3-point summary, a very crisp summary and a joke. I think the 3 words to take away are impatience. The world is becoming more and more impatient. We need to plan for smaller, shorter content. Second, brands need to tie up with trust, which would be influencers, which people or audiences like us look up to. And third, I think the essence of all innovation or all new formats is somewhere between attention and engagement. So anything that drives attention and engagement will work, and that's what we need to chase. Lastly, because we spoke about formats and the duration, a very young colleague at office asked me, I can guess the age, I can guess your age depending on what ACD or what average commercial duration of an ad do you like? So if you like 30, I can guess your age. If you like 6, I can guess your age. That's what I would like to conclude the evening with. Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists.
Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you so much, all of you, for one such wonderful session at the end that we have. Please put your hands together and give them a huge round of applause as a form of appreciation, and let's express our gratitude towards them. May I please take a moment of your time, Mr. Deepak, to felicitate all the gorgeous ladies on the dais that we have, and what a depth of knowledge all of you have shared with us and giving us a better sense of understanding, starting with Ms. Priyanka Khaneja Gandhi, Director, Integrated Brand Experience Lead, Colgate-Palmolive India Limited. Thank you so much for joining us in, Priyanka. Now moving on to felicitate Ms. Sheena Kapoor, Head Marketing, Corporate Communications and CSR, ICICI Lombard. Thank you so much, Sheena, for coming and joining us for the day. Now moving on to felicitate Ms. Amita Srivastava, Vice President, West Cara India. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us in today. And now I would like to take the opportunity to felicitate our session chair. Would request you all to kindly come in the front for the photo op first. Yeah, with the certificates in your hand. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're really glad to have you all here. I would like to request you all to kindly take your respective seats. Till the time I'll bother you again for once again to present the set of awards that we are going to have. A surprise for all of you, because this was not a final set or final round of applause that we were having. Much more left, because it's a special day for all of us. So you have to put your hands together for the 25th anniversary in the year 2024 that we are celebrating, because it's the celebration time for IndianTelevision.com Group. So can I please hear a huge round of applause for IndianTelevision.com Group, as it has completed its 25 years of their existence, and now we are proudly presenting 20th edition of Video and Broadband Summit. As the OTT industry gains prominence in mainstream entertainment, broadcasters must adapt to meet evolving consumer expectations, as we all know. Against all the odds, a growing breed of game changers is shaping India's fast-progressing video landscape. IndianTelevision.com Group is set to appreciate, to honor, and felicitate 25 game-changing companies in the video, broadband, and distribution industry during this momentous occasion. I mean, wow, that's wonderful. All our winners who will come on stage receiving their acknowledgement, their recognitions and awards are requested to please be seated. Please go back, because you are then again invited for a photo op all together with all your representatives and teams of your companies. So one by one, we are going to announce the names of the winners who are with us right now. Yes, that's a very interesting thing, that we are announcing the names in ascending order as per the company's name, alphabetically. And we start with, as I announce the name of the first company, I would like to invite the presenter for the same. As I said, I'll bother you again. So I would like to invite on stage Ms. Priyanka Khaneja Gandhi. Please welcome on stage from Colgate-Palmolive India Limited to present the first set of awards that we have. Now, in an alphabetical order, please put your hands together for the gorgeous lady on the dais. Thank you so much. Yes, that's the kind of energy that is required for the winners who are coming on stage for receiving their award of honor. And I would request everyone to please fill the hall with all the energy that you have. Please refuel your bodies to cheer up for the winners, because it will be your turn also. It's a kind of a give and take. Now I'll announce the name of our first winner without a further ado, because they have to take their flights. I know I'm taking the footage. So yes, first one is ACT FiberNet. Please welcome, many, many congratulations to the whole team of ACT FiberNet. We would like to invite the team to please come on the stage to receive the award of honor. You have made it big for your company. ACT FiberNet is the first one to receive the award. Congratulations to the whole team for making it big. And you deserve this award of honor. Thank you so much, all of you, for putting your hands together. Thank you so much. Now we'll announce the name of our second winner, none other than Airtel Digital TV. A big round of applause for everyone out there at Airtel Digital TV. And we would like to request the team members to please come on the stage to receive the award of honor. This is your evening, and you have made it big, and you've made all the efforts to be on the stage today. So here are they from the Airtel Digital TV. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and give a huge round of applause for all the winners who are coming on stage to receive their award of honors. They are the game changers of video, broadband, and distribution industry. So yes, now I would like to invite on stage our next winner, Amagi Media Labs. Congratulations to the team of Amagi Media Labs. Please welcome, hats off to your contribution in this industry, and you have made with all your hard work, you made it possible for your company to be on the dais today. Congratulations all over again. Applause should continue for all of them who are there. Thank you so much, ma'am. After this, one more A to go with, Asianet Digital Network. Please welcome Asianet Digital Network. Many, many congratulations to Asianet's whole team for making it and achieving this moment of pride for their company, Asianet Digital Network. Congratulations to the whole team of yours. We would like to congratulate the whole family of yours, the team of yours, for this achievement. Now, would like to take the name of the next alphabet, that is D. And it's none other than Dish TV. Congratulations to Dish TV, the entire team, the entire people who are involved in making all their efforts and their hard work and making their company achieve this award and making this day happen. This is all because of you guys. Congratulations to the whole team of Dish TV. As far as I'm speaking, I'm okay. As long as I'm quiet, I want the applause should speak. So yes, applause should continue for all of them. Now we'll move forward for the next name, none other than Disney Star Distribution. Please welcome the representatives from the company from Disney Star Distribution. Many, many congratulations to the whole team of yours. I'll say high five to the whole entire team, the fantastic team of yours for this stellar performance and making this day possible. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today, and many, many congratulations to the whole team of Disney Star Distribution and being a game changer at the video, broadband, and distribution industry. Now we'll move forward to announce the name of our next winner, none other than Fastway Transmissions. Congratulations to the whole team of Fastway Transmissions. I'll say we should all give like huge standing ovation to all the winners who are coming on stage, and many, many congratulations to the Fastway Transmissions for being the game changers in the industry. Yes, these are the smiles that we wanted. We want everyone to give a big smile on the dais as this is their day, their evening. Thank you so much for joining us in, and thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us on the dais and presenting the first set of awards. Now, after this, I would like to call upon our next presenter to present the next set of awards, Ms. Sheena Kapoor from ICICI Lombard. Please welcome, ma'am. With a huge, huge round of applause, I'd like to welcome the beautiful woman on the dais. And after this, would like to announce the name of our next winner. Without a further ado, GTPL Hathway Limited. Congratulations, our heartfelt congratulations to the team of yours, GTPL Hathway Limited, for their unwavering determination and outstanding accomplishment in the field of video, broadband, and distribution industry. GTPL Hathway Limited. Many, many congratulations to the team of yours. To you from us. All right, after this, we'll move forward. Yes, I think whistles should have been there on the table so that the energy could be felt. Now, I would like to announce the name of our next winner, none other than Harmonic. Please welcome on stage. Congratulations to the entire team. And a big shout out to the team, entire staff, who all are working relentlessly, and they've put in all their hard work and their innovation and commitment towards the company to achieve this moment of excellence and making this day possible. Many, many congratulations to the whole team of Harmonic for being the game changers in the industry. Please put your hands together for Mr. Alex and team. After this, would like to announce the name of our next winner, Hathway Cable and Datacom Limited. Many, many congratulations to the whole team. Kudos to the entire team of Hathway Cable and Datacom Limited for being the game changers of video, broadband and distribution industry as IndianTelevision.com completes its 25th year of its existence, and we are celebrating this day by announcing the names of winners and giving acknowledgements to the companies who have made it big and being the game changers. Congratulations to you. Now we'll announce the name of our next winner, India Cast Media. Please welcome and many, many congratulations from us to you, the whole team of yours, for making it happen. India Cast Media. Okay, I could hear the whistles somehow. I don't know how to blow whistle with my fingers. अगर मैं जानती तो ज़रूर सीटी बजाती यहाँ पर. Well, congratulations to you. India Cast Media is there on the dais to receive their award of honor. This is your evening, your day. You have made it big for your entire team. And many congratulations to you for that. And after this, none other than would like to announce the name of our next winner, Jio Fiber Broadband. Please welcome the team of Jio Fiber Broadband. Congratulations to you and a big round of applause to everyone for their dedication, resulting in another successful milestone for their company, being the game changers. Many, many congratulations to you. And now, I'll announce the name of our next winner, Kerala Communications Cable Limited. Please welcome on stage. Many, many congratulations to the whole team of Kerala Communications Cable Limited for being the game changers. It's a well-deserved victory for all of you guys who are on the dais right now. As they say, awards and recognitions are even more special than money. These are precious, and we want you to achieve more and more success in your respective fields. Thank you so much, Sheena, for coming on the stage and presenting the set of awards. Now, for the next set of awards, would like to invite our next presenter, Ms. Amita Srivastava from Kara, India. Please welcome Ms. Srivastava. Waise, I'm liking your hairstyle very much. I was talking to Karishma for that. Maine kaha, wow, she's having that wonderful hairstyle, and the way she's carrying that, wow, you're looking lovely. Now, our next winner, without a further ado, Nagra Vision. Many, many congratulations for this well-deserved victory on the achievement of this victory of Nagra Vision for being the game changer in the video, broadband, and distribution industry. If anyone is there from the team of Nagra Vision, all right. We'll move forward to announce the name of our next winner. Okay. A beautiful woman is there to receive the award on behalf of Nagra Vision. Congratulations to the whole team of Nagra Vision for achieving this milestone. Many more to come. All right, our next winner is NXT Digital. Please welcome the team of NXT Digital. Yes, that's the kind of cheering up we required, and that's the kind of energy is always required whenever winners are coming and joining us on stage. So, as I said, please refuel yourself with all your energy back and rejuvenate yourself. Yes, that's the kind of the one that we wanted. So I could hear some of the whistles. Many, many congratulations for proving once again your excellence. And you've already proved that excellence is not just a goal, it's a standard for you guys. So yes, congratulations from us to you. Thank you and congratulations to all of you. Okay, one more click he wants on the dice. Thank you so much, Mr. Roos, for joining us today. And many, many congratulations for being the game changer. Pictures are even important. Now I announce the name of our next winner, Planet Cast. Please welcome the team of Planet Cast to receive the award of honor. Big shout out for the victory. A well-deserved victory, of course, I'll say, for Planet Cast team. It's all your dedication, all your hard work that you have made it possible. Many, many congratulations to you. Yes, we wanted that smiles on your faces. Congratulations all over again. Our next winner is none other than Shimaru Entertainment. Please welcome the team of Shimaru Entertainment. Our heartfelt congratulations to everyone in the company for making this day happen for them and for all their contribution towards the company. If there is anyone from Shimaru Entertainment who's coming to receive the award of honor. All right, we'll move forward to City Networks Limited. May I have the team of City Networks Limited? Please welcome on stage. Congratulations for your entire contribution towards bringing the company to this level. City Networks Limited for being the game changers. Many congratulations to you. And I'll quickly announce the name of our next winner, none other than Sony Pictures Networks India. Please welcome on the dais to receive the award of honor, Sony Pictures Networks India, and congratulations to the entire team and family, all the people who have joined in to make all the collective efforts in driving the company forward and achieving remarkable success today. If someone is there from Sony Pictures? Hannah? Even I was thinking to. All right. Okay, done. Please welcome, sir. Please give him a huge round of applause as he steps up on stage. Congratulations to Mr. Vanwari and Sony Pictures Networks India. Okay, no pictures he wants. Just smiles on the dais. Yes, all right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming and joining us on stage and presenting the set of awards. Now the last set of awards, the final set of awards. Would like to invite Mr. Deepak Sonpar, Essence Mediacom India, to please come on the stage to present our final set of awards. Since this is the final one, so I want a huge round of applause from all of you for all the awards I'm going to announce now. So without a further delay, as I said that all of them, many of them have to take their flights. So now, would like to invite the team member of Sina Media, because our next winner is Sina Media. Okay, it's Sina Media, I'm sorry. Sina Media's team, entire team, many, many congratulations for making it big and making this day possible with all your efforts and all your attitude and all the things that you have done for the company and being the game changer in video, broadband and distribution industry. Congratulations from IndianTelevision.com's whole team to you guys. All of them waits for me to stop and then to clap. All right. Applause should continue for our next winner, Tata Play. None other than Tata Play. I would like to request the team to come on the stage to receive the award of honor on the behalf of Tata Play. The family who's always involved in making all their hard work and efforts in making the company achieve the best and achieving this milestone. Many, many congratulations from our side to you guys. We feel really glad when so many people as a team comes on the dais to receive the award on behalf of their companies. That's really big for all of us to see, in fact. Thank you so much, guys, and congratulations all over again. Now I'll announce the name of our fourth last winner for the day, the Maharashtra Cable Operators Federation. Please welcome on stage, many congratulations to the whole team, entire family of Maharashtra Cable Operators Federation for achieving this milestone of success. If someone is there on their behalf to receive the award, all right, we'll move forward. After this, the next one is UCN Cable Network Private Limited. Please welcome, congratulations to your team, UCN Cable Network Private Limited's team. If they are there to receive the award, yeah, she's there. We want you all to please come up with a smile on your face, pretty smile. Gorgeous woman with a gorgeous smile, wow. And our second last award for the day goes to none other than VK Digital Network. Many, many congratulations. And hats off to the entire crew of VK Digital Network. Anyone from the team? I don't think so. Okay, the last means the final award for the evening. I want everyone to please cheer for none other than Warner Brothers Discovery. Congratulations to the team of Warner Brothers Discovery. He is there to receive the award for Warner Brothers. Many, many congratulations from IndianTelevision.com to Warner Brothers Discovery. Yes, the team is there to receive. That's what we wanted for being the game changer of video, broadband, and distribution industry. And our heartfelt congratulations to all the winners who have made it big today. The 25 game changers of video, broadband, and distribution industry on the completion of 25th anniversary of IndianTelevision.com. So this was a celebration time for all of us. And as I request, thank you so much, Mr. Deepak, for coming and presenting the awards. And as I requested all of you to not go back and kindly take your respective seats after receiving your awards, I would request each and everyone who have received the awards, the winners, of course, to kindly come up on the stage to have a photo op all together with a round of applause. Yes, yes, all of you, please. Come with your trophies on the stage. Please don't feel shy. Come up on the stage. Photo op is a ritual of IndianTelevision.com. When you'll see it afterwards, you'll be happy and glad to see. Step up on stage. I'll request everyone to please fill the hall with all the energy and give them a huge, thunderous round of applause as they have made it big and they have achieved a milestone of success in the video broadband summit and video broadband industry. So these are the 25 game changers. I know each and everyone in our life at some point of time want to be the game changer. Now they are the game changers and all of you, all of us, I think are the game changers. So yes, you can make a semicircle for the photo op, I think. Correct? Yeah. I hope they'll be able to capture all of you like this. With all the smiles on your faces, say cheese. You all like paneer or cheese? Say paneer then. Moment of happiness for all of you. Okay. Sign of victory also. Don't feel conscious, say victory. मुझको अवार्ड नहीं मिला है लेकिन मैं फिर भी कह देती हूँ. Thank you so much all of you and many, many congratulations all over again. A heartfelt congratulations to the whole team of yours who have made it big today and being the game changers of Video Broadband Summit. So this was the 20th edition of Video Broadband Summit by IndianTelevision.com Group. I hope you all have enjoyed the summit. So please contribute to the discourse across social media. I hope you have all shared your day's perspective on your social media handles, tagging us, right? Yes or no, as I asked in the beginning. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us. And lastly, before we sign off for the day, we would like to take a moment to thank all our esteemed partners for their immense support all around the event to us. This event is co-powered by Dangal TV, associate partners Planetcast, Shimaru Network, industry partners Chanajor, India Cast Media, OTT Play, V Elemento, Watcho, the OTT Super App, Lanyard partners Extreme Labs and Playbox TV. Community partner Kerala Vision Broadband. This event is executed by ITV 2.0 Productions, and this is an initiative by IndianTelevision.com Group. So glad to see so many faces down there, since this is the last, what is the time? 5:30, and all of you are still here. Thank you so much for joining us today and being here all over the event. And thank you so much, ma'am, especially for giving me so much of response when I was on stage. And thanks to IndianTelevision.com's team for always believing in me. Cheers to all of you guys. And you can have your tea and coffee sessions after this. Thank you.